Give him the highest praise. Hallelujah. Give me the highest praise. In the morning when I wake up, in the night when I wake up, I will lift up my voice to heaven and give you the highest praise. Hallelujah to my King. Hallelujah to my Father. Hallelujah to my Jesus. I bow before the throne. When I look at all the wonder and I see all the creation, the beauty of the universe, you never change. You never lie. You never change. You never change. Hallelujah to my Jesus. Hallelujah. 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 Hey, hallelujah.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Today is the 14th. What a beautiful Sunday right here from the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. This is a beautiful gospel song by our Liberian gospel artist based in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia, Joseph Bass.
On the prayer, Jehovah, on the worship, Jehovah.
Just do us a favor, hit the share button wherever you are. We say good evening and welcome to all our viewers and listeners across the globe. I'm Alfonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV.
I'm here to press my card because he came to life. Come celebrate, come jubilate.
How many of us are celebrating and willing to worship? And today we're going to be having a fascinating discussion. So we're going to pivot. Hopefully, if all goes well, there will be a 2 segments of conversation. So we're going to look at some of the social issues. Apparently, we in the media industry have downplay and is hurting the society. Why are we doing that? Why are we so much politically driven? Are we all helping to create what is happening in today's world? These and many more. So we're getting some staggering information. We're going to be having that conversation, not necessarily in impetus, but to get to the bottom line and hopefully to give both sides what is happening. Stay tuned. I'm Alfonso Zienso to want to welcome you this beautiful Sunday evening here from the East Coast. Stay tuned and we're going to get this program going to right away.
Lift up your hands and worship. Lift up your voice and pray. Hallelujah.
Okay, we want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for sharing your Sunday afternoon, evening, morning, to wherever you are. Thank you for being part of this program. My guest is here. If all goes well, of course, Liberia Public Radio Politics is one of the highest call. Let's see, she gone off. We're going to be bringing her here. We're going to be having a conversation here. More or less, we're going to take on some of the social issues confronting our nations, our community, our society, places far and near. So we're going to be having this conversation here. As usual, we always take in politics, but we are also come to realize because we are so politically driven, there are a lot of things happening to right on our bell. And apparently, we are not opening up, we too, in the media industry. What are we doing this? What are we doing? Well, during the week, sources we managed to get in touch with a young lady right here in the USA. And there are a lot of information we are hearing. But the first time, if not for the first time on LPR is willing to share her ordeal, her story. Why is she speaking up now? and what has been responsible? Is the Liberian community or is the community that she lives in also a help? And if so, what was the help? Let me bring in Madam Cynthia Way is joining me for the first time right here on the Diaspora Informative News Network, Liberia Public Radio, LPR TV here this evening. Cynthia, good evening and welcome.
Good evening.
Okay. All right. I know I know, but we always like to give our audience the benefit of the doubt. Just briefly introduce yourself and we'll get right down to the talking point.
I'm Cynthia by the name, last name Kippy.
Mm.
I'm a Liberian. Lofa County by Trap, from Lofa by Bandi, Loma by Trap.
Mm.
And
Okay.
uh,
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I'm 23 years old, a high school graduate and a medical assistant.
Okay.
Two kids,
Two beautiful kids. What, boy, girl, or strictly girls?
boys and girls.
Boy, wow, what a good proportion. I love that.
3 years old, um,
Okay.
4 months old.
How old are your kids?
3 years old and a 4 months old.
3 and 4. Wow, that's beautiful. Who is three and who is four?
The boy is 3 years.
Okay. Okay.
Daughter is 4 months old.
Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. Don't ask me. I'm here to ask you, but you are also, I'm just kidding. You are also at liberty to ask me if I necessary. And I think for us in the media industry, we are not being doing enough to look at some of the issues that are facing our own community, our own household, our own society, but we'll go across the Red Sea to see if we can find solution to these problems. I was told by a source, and thank you for honoring our invitation here to appear here. There are a lot of things going on, and I'm quite sure, first and foremost, we regret whatever that happens. I'm not going to draw a conclusion just by seeing images. I will also, if possible, to get the other side of the story. Where do you live, Cynthia?
I live in Dallas, Texas,
Dallas, Texas. How long have you been in Dallas?
and I've been in Dallas since I came from Africa, but I've been in and out.
When you say in and out, what do you mean?
And I've been moving from Dallas to Jacksonville, Florida.
George Jackson to Sunshine City, right? To go get some fresh air.
Yeah.
Okay, so how long have you been in the States, Cynthia?
I've been here 7 years now.
7 years. Okay. You live by yourself?
I was staying with I came here with my uncle,
Hmm.
and things happened. I was staying with my kid's father.
His father. Is
Yeah.
he okay? Is he in the USA?
Yes.
You both are living in Dallas.
Yes.
How long you been under the same roof?
For 6 years, 6 to 7 years.
6 to 7 years?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. I know I might be asking some crazy question. If it doesn't work answering, just throw me under the bus and we can move on. You guys met here or from Liberia?
We met here.
Me here.
Hmm.
The two kids are there. He's the dad for the two kids.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have your mother here in the States? And an immediate relative,
Just my aunt.
just your aunt.
Hmm.
What has been, finally you decided to come out for the first time here. Probably you have appeared on other network that I cannot speak to, but this is the first time coming uh, on LPR. There must be a reason of you coming here today, correct?
Yes.
Should I jump the gun to say, or you want us to hear it directly from the house's mouth?
Well, you can go ahead.
Okay, let me see here. Let me see here. Don't ask me where I got them from, but I managed to get them from good people here. This picture here, can you recognize this picture? Is that you?
Yeah, that's the same.
That's you?
Yeah.
Okay. We don't mean to dig up old ones here, but let me ask you here. Do you recognize this picture?
Yes.
Okay. You recognize the first one, you recognize the second one here. So let's have a conversation. There's a big difference between those two pictures. Who inflicted that potential injury or wound on you like that?
The one?
Who did that to you? There's a difference between the first picture and the second picture. You fell. What happens?
My kid's father beat me.
Beat you? Beat on you?
Yes.
Wow. What happened?
We've been on this for so long since I met him. It been always off and on, like always hitting on me, beating on me, but I never like come out to say it. I never like open my mouth or anything because we African to be like everything. Oh, I don't want the person to get deported. I don't want to have chasso and chasso. Especially if you love somebody, you just don't want to get in trouble. So you just be quiet with everything. Things been going on from the past time I've been with him. He been hitting on me, and I'm not the only person that he been doing this to. Even with his ex girlfriend, he did that to her, and he went to jail. When he came out, his family they wanted to play the victims. When something happened, they always want, oh, the person put our child in jail, the person didn't want to our child. Instead of them sitting there and advising the child that keep your hand to yourself, it's not right to put your hands on a female. This country is a country of the law. Don't put your hands on female. They don't do that. They just sit down and criticize you, bullying you, say things like they're not supposed to say to you, threat you. As now, my life has been threat because he been arrested, so my life has been threatened. I don't even go outside. I just stay to myself. I'm in a shelter.
Hmm.
So things,
So
yeah.
you say it been going on for a while long? Is that what I heard? For a
Yeah.
longer time?
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, can you tell her how long is it been going on?
It started when I have my son, 2017. Cause we met at 2015 when I just came in this country like 3 days. I met him at 3 days when I just entered in the country like 3 days. I met him on a wedding barbecue, so we started talking and we started living together 2015, the ending of 2015. So 16, 17, when I had my son, when I had my first son, it started with a birth certificate, just a common birth certificate. When he took the birth certificate, giving it to his parents. So like Brown committee, you always have people that tip your shoulder. So they was like, oh, your child birth
Can
certificate.
you fix your camera better so my audience? Okay, much better.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine told me that the child birth certificate was not with the dad. So I asked him, I said, what's the child birth certificate? So he was like, oh, I give it to my parents. So I was like, why would you have to get the child birth certificate to your parents? Go get it. So when he went for the birth certificate, I guess whatever his parents told him, not tell him, I don't know. And he started coming back to me and saying all kind of stuff. My parents said this about you. My parents said that. That's why my parents don't like you because you fought the A and stuff. I said, I fought the A because I asked for my own child birth certificate. I gave you the birth certificate as a man to hold it, to handle it. And you didn't want to handle it when you go to your parents. So I had to take my child birth certificate. Say you're not responsible on your own to maintain your own children's stuff. I will have to take the birth certificate for you. So I took it and I was keeping it. So they started talking in his ear, telling him that, oh, she'll put you on child support, she'll do the one, all kind of stuff. So every time his parents talking in his ear when he come to the house, it always a fight. Every time it always a fight. So it was a day that he beat me to the point that the neighbor had to call the police. I was bruised on in my face. I probably think you have the pictures. So the neighbor called the police when he went to jail. All the parents was could say was, oh, I call police on his son. I put his son in danger. Like no son of advice that they gave him to start putting hands on people. He always accusing people, always playing the victims. So at that moment, it was like, oh, he might not go to jail. When he go to jail, it will be something different. Even the sister sent me a text message. If you don't go free my brother from in jail, you will see what will happen to you. So I just kept it to myself, and I just had to go. After that, they put restraining order in between us. The police put restraining order, and we take some classes. I took a parenting class, and he took an English management classes. So the CPS came, tried to take the child away. We fought her, and the case was closed. So after the case was closed, after 6 months, he said, "Oh, he will change. Everything will be okay. Everything will be fine." So when we moved on in the apartment on Parkland. So it was still a fight going on. He have an alcohol problem. He drinks a lot. Whenever he drink, he misbehave. He jealous. I'm jealous too, but he only is a different way. Crazy. So he started fighting. We got into a fight. We started fighting. So I left. I went to Jacksonville last year. When I went to Jacksonville, they took me to court. They sued me that I left for the child. Even not they even when I had put different thing. I molest my 4 years. I mean my 2 years old son. At that time, my son was 2 years old. They lie on me like I molested my 2 years old son. So we went to the court back and forth, back and forth. What happened? What not happened? And he just decided to let the kids go. He said he didn't want to move forward with the court. So we let it go and we came back together again. When we came back together, that's when I got pregnant with my daughter. When I got pregnant with my daughter, he was like, "Oh, I want to get a child so I can name her after my mom."
Okay,
So
let's here we don't do roller skating, right? We can have a conversation so as to give the audience a true sense of what is happening. I guess I'm just making an educated guess here. I guess you have a neighbors or maybe it's church or some other close friends or family member. You ever had the opportunity to have a conversation with family members or anybody as to what was really happening on your in your in the household?
yes, I told friends because I told friends my family like we really don't discuss about him because it was like, oh, when I came in it was like, oh, don't follow behind that boy, and I'd never let him. I went, I follow him and stuff. So my family they don't like to hear that discussion from my mouth. And
So yeah, well, you have my taboo here. I want you to look straight in the eyes of the camera as I ask you the question, and just not only me, for the viewer as well, so
okay,
you know exactly. Yeah, because like I said, we will try as much as possible to get the other side of the story. That's what news is all about. Yeah, go ahead.
okay. Sorry about that. I was
Yeah,
looking out.
go ahead.
Okay, so yes, I talk to our friends. I always let my friends know what's going on. And with my play mom, she here. She convinced me to go and drop the charges. At the first time, she was like, go ahead and drop the charges because when the police came, my eye was bruised. I was already crying and all that stuff when it came. Me don't know anything about this country. I don't know nothing about paperwork and stuff. They gave me a paperwork for me to sign. I did not read it. I just went ahead and signed it. When
Hold
I
on
signed
right there.
it,
Hold on right there. They gave you a paperwork. You didn't read. You went ahead and signed it.
yes.
What prompted you to for such a decision that you didn't look at it, you didn't know what you were signing, whether there was your own death warrant, whether you were going to jail, or there was something that were indicting you? Why you did that first?
They just told me because it was an ambulance that came, so it was like, oh,
Oh,
so you don't want to go
ambulance.
to the. Yes, they had two ambulance came, and it was like, say you don't want to go to police scheme, ambulance scheme. It was like, oh, say you don't want to go to, I mean, you don't want to go to the hospital because they wanted me to go to the hospital so they can take my child and keep it somewhere until I get up from the hospital. And me with him, I said like, I've been knowing people that have been going through this. I tell him I said at that moment I was going to lose my child. If I was going to say yes, I'm going to the hospital to take my child for me, they're going to get to orphanage home or something like that. So I told him I said no, I was not ready to go to the hospital. So there was like your eye is bruised everywhere, and you say you don't want to get in the ambulance to go to the hospital. I said yeah. So when they went upstairs, they met him there. Yeah, that was the picture. When they went upstairs, they met him there, and they checked his record. He already have another abuse record on him with his ex-girlfriend. So the police didn't even ask no question. They just took him. When they took him, so they was like, you have to sign this paper because you refuse to go to the hospital. And with all this bruise that we see on your face, so sign the paper. And I didn't even think. I didn't even think that, oh, let me read something. I just went ahead and signed the paper. When I signed the paper, CPS came. The next morning, CPA key and started was like, oh, we came to investigate the child. The child was in the house when you were abused and started. They said we take classes. Prove that when they said we had to go to court. Me don't know anything about the system. It was my first time. They said we had to go to court. So when we went to court, they had to go. So my parent asked me to drop the charges. She said when they asked you, do you want to press charges? I said no. Drop the charges. We all know what he did was wrong, but you don't want him deported. That's your child father, and just go ahead and drop the charges. So I said, okay, I'm ready to drop the charges. And I went ahead and dropped the charges. I didn't say anything to the police. So I went ahead and just tell his lawyer that he had a lawyer. I told the lawyer that, oh, I want to drop the charges. I want everything to be okay with me and my kid's father. I don't want him going to jail or getting deported. So I dropped the charges. But when I dropped the charges, things were still not going on right. I thought that was going to teach him a lesson to change, but he was not changing. When I got pregnant with my daughter, he was still putting hands on me. Even in my pregnancy, I let friends know, but I never brought it to my family attention. I never brought it to his family attention.
So why? Let me stop you a little bit. Why
Mhm.
you decide to keep that just only telling friends? And my guess here, you told the friends not to tell anybody, even though two is a crowd. Once you say it to somebody, they might have told somebody. But why specifically decide not to bring it to you? I want you to look in the eyes of this camera. This is a serious conversation here. Why
Mhm.
you decide not to tell your family or even his family saying what was happening? Let's see here some of the images that we have here. This is you like. With those braces all over your head. Was that part of the inflection for him? Was that part of what he did to you?
Yeah, that was when I had the baby at 2 months old. When he beat me to the point that I passed out, I went to the hospital.
Hmm. 2 months
Hmm.
after delivery,
Yeah,
and that happens
yeah.
in the house,
Yes, it was in the house, in the apartment that both of us used to stay
and you didn't tell anybody as well.
in. No.
What was the reason?
Reason is I always been threatened by the family. I always been bullied. They distract me anyhow they want to. So they make everybody feel like I'm the bad person. So and me, I didn't want him to get deported because of me.
Are you a bad
Because
person?
uh
Are you a bad person?
no, I'm not. Not at all. But they know a lot of people in this country. A lot of people know them, so they'll criticize me as a bad person because I never open my mouth to say anything to anybody. I always believe that your relationship probably shouldn't be out there. So I just tell people that are close to me, and I tell them that please don't let anybody know. I'm just telling you so for future reference tomorrow, like anything happened to me, so you can know that at least this girl was telling me. She always telling me everything when it happened. So I had one close friend that I used to tell my play mom everything. That I tell her that this is what going on, but I don't want people to know about it. Even some friends encourage me to calling police on the same day when the incident happened. I said, "Nah, that's my kid's father. I don't want him to get deported." All I do is when it happened, I just walk away. I walk away and try to
Was
better
it
my life.
was it out of love or lust?
I don't know what they call that.
I mean, out of love because you wanted to maintain the relationship. It might sound crazy to me here, but was that the case? You think what actually was going through your mind? And that we managed to get a lie here because if I look at this picture here of Cynthia, I think like, oh, who is this? Maybe converting to a Spanish person. But when I look at this, it gives me a different sense. When I see this, it doesn't look like the other picture. Not to even mention this. All of these are physical injury potentially that you sustain from this gentleman. Correct?
Yeah,
Are you mad with yourself?
I'm mad at myself and I'm ashamed of myself for going back and forth into that stuff. And that was some of the reason like I couldn't open my mouth to say to anybody because every time people be like, "Oh, they both doing this to you, leave the relationship, leave the." I never realized it until it got to the point I was half deaf. I already had death. If my friend was not gonna come to that house and call the ambulance to save my life, I don't think I could have make it. So when I get up from there, I said, I think within myself, like if I were gonna be there, my parents were gonna be the one to suffer, and my children were gonna be the one to suffer, and who was gonna raise them up? Because nobody can raise your child up better than you, better than the mom said I born a child. So I said within myself, I just thought about that, and I never called police. I never said anything. I just left, packed my stuff, and left.
And then what happened?
When I left, when I got to Jacksonville, I had called him and told him that hey, I'm in Jacksonville. You know what? I stay at your kids are here. You're always available to see your
So you,
kids.
you still try to be nice, even though you went through all of that. You didn't want to create that sort of gap with his kids because innocent children they have any nothing to really fry into it. But you still try to be nice, and you got to Jacksonville, and what happens?
When I went to Jacksonville, like under 14 or last month, I mean the 11 or last month, I got up from bed after I told him that everything that I was in Jacksonville with the kids, and he never said anything. He just said, "Okay." He ain't got the phone. He called my aunt. My aunt I went to when he called my aunt, he was like, "Oh, she left to stay with the children. She didn't let me know and all that stuff." I'm gonna call the police and say she kidnapped my kids. So my aunt told her, my aunt told him that, oh, so do you wanted her to live in a relationship until she died before you realized? He said even with the one you did to her, you and your family you never apologized to her, you never said anything to her. So the worst for her mouth was that was old stuff. It's old stuff. We want to talk about it. My family said we will not talk about it because it's old. Tina just happened in the same month, and I left last same month. They just said it's old stuff. So my aunt was like, okay, since it's old stuff and she don't want to put you in trouble, she don't want to say anything before your family can't be taking her name around and say, oh, Cynthia the one are doing this, Cynthia the one are doing that and stuff. So she left. She left. That's the reason why she left. You can come see your children anytime you feel like seeing your children. She's not running away with your children. You know what we stay at. You've been to my house before. You know your kids stay in a better place, so you can come see your children anytime. He hung up the phone. When he hung up the phone last month on the 11th, I get up from bed. A sheriff to my doorman, to my aunt doorman, said you been served. So I said served by who? So he said sign the paper. I signed the paper. When I read over it was I've been served, I've been sued by my child father. So I was like, sued for what? So I started crying, taking a picture of the paperwork, everything, sending it over to people that know close, people that know about law and something. I said, what I do to the boy? I have to run to the boy goes to me. He not did something to me. I didn't chase him, I didn't put him on child support, I didn't do anything. Why he suing me for? So I started crying. So everybody keep advising me. So since the court date is already short, just go to court. When you go to court, tell the judge to give you more time so you can have an attorney. Don't go to the court by yourself. Just tell him that you need more time to go to court by an attorney. So when we went to court, I told the judge, I said, can you please give me some time so I can get an attorney? So the judge gave me from the 14th to the 1st of November. From that 14th to the 1st of November, I was looking for an attorney everywhere. I couldn't find one. Everybody, even in Jacksonville, they said they couldn't help me because the case was Texas case. So I had to call Dallas, Texas attorney and ask them. So when I called one,
I want you to look in my cameras.
Mhm.
It's a serious conversation. I know it's sort of painful and it is not meant to really get to dig up old wounds, but it's good that we have this conversation. And we also in the media industry, we want to blame ourselves. We can go into people's homes to poke, but when people share information with us, then it's good because we have been so much driven in this politics. But these are some of the things that are affecting the country directly or indirectly. It's not happening in Liberia, but imagine if it can happen right here, then what is going on in Liberia? Go ahead, Cynthia.
Yeah, so I called the legal aid and it said that it was going to help me because I told them that I didn't have money for a lawyer. So they said it was going to help me. So later on, they asked the legal aid, emailed me. He was like, oh, at this point, we can't help you because we have a lot of cases to take care of and your court date is closed. So we have no other way to do it. So when I asked, I keep asking, I keep calling another legal aid. They charging me like $4,000. I didn't have the money. So I was confused what to do at that moment. So I couldn't find nobody to represent me. So a friend of mine told me that just go to the court before the starting of the court day. Ask the judge, can they please appoint you a court appointing attorney? I said, okay. So we went to court on the 1st of November. On the 1st of November, I asked the judge, I said, Judge, can I please have a court appoint me an attorney because I didn't have an attorney on my own. So the judge told me that was not a case to appoint an attorney. I said, oh, well, that's fine. So I just went ahead. I told him, I said, can you excuse me? Because the court on Zoom. The same way we see each other, the court on Zoom. So
Yeah.
I told the judge, I told the judge, I said, can you please excuse me so I can use the restroom? So I went in the restroom. I started praying. I said, God, I'm into your hands. I go into the courtroom. I said, you know, I didn't do anything wrong. I did not do anything wrong. I don't have no bad intention for anybody. I go into the courtroom. I said, let me just go. So I finished praying. I came back on Zoom. And I told the judge, I said, I'm sorry, like I had to use the restroom. He said, that's fine. So his lawyer explained his own part for him. And me, I didn't have no lawyer. So
Was he in the court, not to interrupt you, was he in the court at the time too? Was he present at the court when you guys?
Yeah, he was present, but he couldn't talk because he have a lawyer. So he was not talking. His lawyer was
I don't mean to be pocket, but was it because I mean you guys have a kid, so there's still a sort of connection. Do you look in his eyes and he looks in your eye? You remember?
Yeah, he looked in my eyes and lying that I was on drugs. He did.
You were on drugs.
Yeah, he looked in my eyes and I look in his eyes. And he told the judge that he told the lawyer that he requested that I should return the kids back to Texas and I
Because
should be on child support and restraining order over my own children like I gave birth to.
because
Because for no reason, he just said that I was on drugs and I never, like, the court
what
never
comes
bothered
to
to.
your mind when he looked at you and telling you that you were on drugs? Maybe the other question that will come from your Anthony, when did you realize that this lady was on drugs and all of that? But when that voice came from him, or what ran through your mind?
What ran through my mind was like, I was just like, I said, oh wow, oh wow. That's what I was saying. Even in the court, I was just like, I said, oh wow, oh wow. I said, I can't believe that my own kid's father can say this about me.
It doesn't hear.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You were part of that when he had those bottle. You remember those incidents?
No, I never do stuff like this. So I was not around him.
Okay, go ahead.
All I could do was just crying on our people camera. I was like, oh wow, I can't believe because but it's a court. If they don't get to you to ask you questions, you can't talk. You can just interrupt and just talk.
Right.
So all I was doing was just crying and I just said, oh wow, oh wow. So my cousin was behind me, she was just tapping my shoulder. She said, don't cry. Right now it's not the time to cry, it's time for you to stand up and be strong. I was like, so my cousin was like, he don't have no good intention for you. He never been having good intention for you for day one. Because if he had good intention for you, he would not be beating on you, knowing that you had two kids by him. But he never had good intention for you. So you the one being sitting and saving that boy here. So when she was talking and the judge was like, who to the background? She gotta leave. So my cousin was like, okay, let me just leave before you get in trouble. So my cousin left. After that, his lawyer explained, and I explained. Both he and his lawyer, both of them were communicating. Whatever he tell his lawyer, that's how the lawyer will tell the judge. So I was just mute. I was just quiet because it was not my time for me to talk.
Right.
So I was just me. I didn't say anything. After they done talking, they asked me some question. It was a real question, like they were asking me. Her lawyer asked me, "Are you in a relationship? Are you sleeping with somebody? Did you tell Benny say you don't want a relationship?" And I was like, "Are we in court? Are we discussing about sex life?" So she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
That's part of the proceeding, because there must be a precursor. There must be something that unfortunately, that's the system here, Cynthia. It's not like Liberia, because what they were trying to do to trace the root causes. It might sound crazy to you and myself and other people, but to try to figure out why it got to this point.
Yeah, so she showed me a picture of him bleeding from his nose and stuff, and she asked me, she said, they say you the one did it, and he said, my client said you the one did it to him. I said, no, I never did that to him. He go to club all the time drinking. And how people always fighting him and something. I almost get killed because of him. Because he always drink and get into a fight. And I don't know what side of the fight, we all went to a club together. When he took me out that night, because me, I better go out. So when he took me out that night, I didn't know what's going on, Sonny. He got into a fight with somebody. I didn't ask question. Because of my child father, they beating on him. They almost to the point of killing him. So I
You
jumped
decided
into
to
the
go
fight.
rescue. You go there to go rescue him as well.
Yes, I jumped into the fight. I always getting into a fight with him, like jumping into a fight when he start fight with somebody, or man, I don't know, he start fight or somebody start fight, but always I almost got killed because of him. So he always jumping into a fight with people. People always.
So I have not had the opportunity. We'll try to reach out here. Is this something that you are making of for public sentiment, or is it a real lifetime story, real thing that happened to you, Cynthia?
It's a real thing story that happened to me, and I have a friend that she here right now that we always in our incident that we almost get killed that night because
I'm getting a tweet here. Somebody here said power, control, and manipulations. These are very key good words sometimes within the social world that are you. Do you think you are being controlled, being manipulated? If you do this, this going to happen to you and all of that. Was that some sort of fear that was put in you?
yes.
Make you so blindsided that you are a young person, age of 23, in this great country for I don't know what 6 years. How many years you say you went through this?
6 to 7 years.
6 to 7 years. That potentially, maybe I might be getting above the speed limit. That could potentially lead to your death, right? Because if I look at this sort here is like maybe a military person or woman, some sort of crutch. And if I see this, you could have lost your eye and stuff like that, cause you vision problem. All of this here, if you see this here, it makes you to feel what?
It make me feel bad, and I just question myself. What would I do in a relationship? Was I forced to be in a relationship? I question myself a lot. Especially, I don't regret having my daughter, but going back and having a second child, knowing that what I was into, I sound stupid. I sound dumb. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to myself because, but I did all that because I was in love, and I never realized that I could not get to that point, and I never realized that having child so and have child so I just don't know. I was just so I was not thinking about that. I was not thinking about that. And me being a country, like most of the thing that he used to tell me, he was like, "Oh, I know you can't leave me. Even if I do anything to you, you can't leave me because I met you when you were small. So the only person you know is me. So you are into me. You are into me. You cannot do anything without me." And my document for
And you
that.
seem to believe it kind of like it really resonated or it played into your hand, correct? Because that was all. It went on for quite a while.
Mm-hmm, it did. And when
So how this fear went away or manipulations, how this thing went away for you to come out. This time you decide to take the bull by the horn. I am leaving, correct? And you decide to leave.
um
How you got to this point?
I got to that point because I ended up to the hospital in coma. Like I couldn't even talk. I ended up to the hospital in coma and stuff. And the friend of mine that called the
Is
ambulance.
this was this picture or which one? This
Yeah,
already
the one I with the bracelet. When
that
I got
was
to the hospital in coma, and the friend of mine that I took the friend of mine that took me to the hospital, that called the ambulance for the ambulance to take me to the hospital. She told me, she was like, your condition, it was bad. I'm not going to lie to you. If the relationship is not working, it's just not working. Because if you lose your life today, this boy parent is not gonna feed it. Your parents is gonna feed it, and your kids are gonna feed it. Cause they either like your kids, they not like your kids. They just like your kids because you're in the picture right now. But once you move it in the picture, your children is gonna suffer it. They're gonna suffer it. So if you don't take my advice, that's fine. But the day anything happen to you, I won't be available. I won't be available, and you don't know if that if you're gonna call the ambulance or when you die, God forbid, they're just gonna put you in somewhere that nobody will know. So I told her in myself when she told me all that stuff, I told her in myself, I said, you know what, Cynthia, this relationship is not worth it. It's really not worth it for me to be here and be hurting myself over somebody like it's not gonna change. So I pack up. We have a family meeting. Her family have a family meeting where I didn't have no family there. The family meeting they had, they were just like, oh, you must listen to today. You must listen to today. You can't be together. No apology, no advice to saying that, oh, what you did was wrong. It was nothing like that. Even the pastor, I'm so disappointed in it. Very, very much disappointed in the pastor that I was there.
so hold on one second. You're disappointed in the pastor. You decide not to tell people. You right here in the Ben. This story is right here in the USA, right on our feet. It's not in Liberia. Somebody is Benjamin. Somebody is asking. You ever had a conversation with any of your pastors?
Yes, before that stuff started, when we started arguing and stuff, I talked to a pastor from the church that we are attend. I told him, I said, oh, this been going on for a while, and I just feel like I should bring it to your attention.
Mm-hmm.
So I told the pastor was like, oh, you too young, you beautiful, you know you can leave and stuff. So I told the pastor, I said, yeah, when I get pregnant and this stuff still going on, I want to leave. That way, when I was still pregnant, I brought it to her attention that I didn't like what was going on. But if I talk to her parents is gonna judge me. They're gonna be like, I want to put her son in trouble. They're gonna say all kind of stuff against me. So I told the pastor, I said I didn't like what was going on. So the pastor didn't understand. He said, oh, well, at this moment I can't talk inside because I don't know what's going on. But I'll advise you, you're too young. You're too young. Like you should make your education serious. When you get bread, you know things is not working out. Leave and go to school. Their country is a country of opportunity. So I told the pastor, I said, yeah, I agree with you. You're right. But if I get bread and it's still going on, I will have to leave. I have to leave. So when I have the baby, when I beating happy, the one with the bracelet, they called meeting. They called meeting. It was three pastors on a meeting. With they one here. When I got up from the hospital, they had a meeting. It was three pastors on a meeting. They had the boy said I should leave the apartment. The apartment that me and he were in. So the pastor then told him that, oh, she can't leave the apartment right now because she just had the baby. So give her for now to December.
When you say leave the apartment, where was he sending you? Throwing you?
Nowhere, I don't know. He just threw me out. He said I should leave. And I have the 3 years old and my newborn baby that I just gave birth to. He said I should leave. So he was like, with my children, I can able to take care of my children. And I told him, I said, but right now the child is birthing. This children is too small. You never home. You're always in the club. You cannot take care of the children. So if you throw me out, you throwing the children out too. Because you cannot throw me out and expect me to leave my newborn baby with you and just go like that, or leave my kids with you and just go like that. So I will have to take my children with me. So he was like, well, I just want you to leave. I just want you to leave. So the pastor said, but she can't leave because she just had the baby. She don't have a job. She's not working. Nothing like that. Where you expecting her to go? He said he didn't care. So the pastor said, no, we cannot throw her outside. You will give her for now to December so she can find her own place. So they told me, it says, we'll give you for now to December for you to find her own place. But if you find a place to go before December, you can leave. So my sister, I didn't even get myself at this, and that place where they expect me to pay rent though. They expect to share the rent and pay rent. Why I didn't even start job, they expect me to share rent with him. So I said, you know what? It's no point of this. So when I called my auntie was like, come to Florida. I packed my stuff. I left. I went to Florida. Clean her apartment, everything nice, and just packed my stuff and my children's stuff, and I left.
Where is the disappointment come from? The church, it should be a house of maybe comfort, rescue, try to mend the fences if there was anything there. Where is the disappointment comes from?
The disappointment came from this because I know that everything they do, the pastor is a try man. They speak the same global. If anything happen, and he always in the house, anything going on, the pastor should know about it. So I'm very sure at the time they were taking me to court, the pastor knew about it. So he could have tell the people that, oh, you are doing your son wrong, they get your son beat they get here. And they get in court police, she left. She left. So you shouldn't take the girl to court. But the family took me to court. When they took me to court, they didn't say anything about it. But now the boy got arrested. The boy got arrested. The pastor then went online today in the church. Because you can watch the church online. You don't have to go to church, but you can watch it online. They went in the church, so they're saying that, oh, you're praying for the Nate family, they're on a serious attack. So I feel like the whole thing is that they're trying to make me look like a bad person. They're trying to put me under the bus, knowing exactly what's going on. As a leader, they should have come and ask questions. Oh, what the boy being arrested? Oh, the boy here, they know for the beginning. When the boy being with us on the meeting, they know for the beginning. So they shouldn't just be on one person's side because they can get a small food to eat or something. That just made me feel bad about a man of God. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. Knowing what's going on, you shouldn't do that because now he's the one that arrested now. So now he's they playing the victim side. Now knowing that I almost lose my life.
Do you feel kind of bad going through all of these things here hearing this sort of story is it's kind of like I don't know. You feel the community also rejected you. The community help you. The help that you needed. Is that how you feel?
Yeah, I never get a help. I never get a help from the community. I never.
Especially like you say, you decide not to tell people, but once reaching out the church, probably that's another way that you confide, the church, because sometimes, and again, it's our collaborating community is sometimes when you go put your people have problem, they go tell people and people make mockery, make fun out of it. They don't help the way they're supposed to help. They will tell you, oh, you should have known that you are, but maybe going to the church was the best play, and that did not even help. Correct?
That did not help because the church is not even a church to say that when you carry your problem there, they were going to help you and something. They feel like they know the pastor and they've been in the church before me and they've been in this country before me. Once they know that you're going close to the person, they will cross in front of you to take your body there. And the people believe in them so bad, like whenever they go take the body, they will not ask. They say, oh, don't call the other side and hear the other side of the story. No. They will all go ahead and just stand against me because the other person, the family has said something. Because they plenty years, they don't have no family here, so yeah, we'll take advantage of her. That's kind of feeling. That's just how I feel like.
My understanding, some information we are gathering, he's fighting to take the case from you. Is that the case?
Yeah.
You're trying to, on what basis? On what ground?
He already have the kid. We're not fighting. He already have the kids, and when he in jail, my daughter, I can't even see my daughter to breastfeed her.
So the kids are with him right now?
Yeah,
The
because the court ordered me to return the kids to him.
two of them?
Yeah, both of the kids, because he had temporary custody. But now he in jail. I went to go get my kids. The whole entire family was to the door trying to fight with the police. Because I went there with the police for me to get my kids. Because I didn't want to lie on my knee
Why
again.
is it? Is it what, Dallas? That what which state?
Dallas, Texas.
So do you know why is he in jail for?
He in jail because when I went to the police station, I explained to the police everything that was happening. Like I came to come drop the kids over here because I didn't want them to be lied on again. Because they put it in the paperwork that I was on drugs. And I showed the pictures to them. So they told me that, oh, make a police report that next time when you go to court, because if you go to court, the court is going to ask you why you did not make a police report since you say our client do this to you. Why you did not make a police report? So get a police report for the court. So I make a police report for the court, and I didn't know that they were going to chase him. So they chased him, they arrested him to his job.
You know, this is I kind of try to figure how to wrap this whole thing here. It's almost like we're in Liberia talking with a kind of thing here. But you know, again, the court system. This is the ambiguity. This is a difficult thing there. But if somebody say, why would the court? Is somebody is it why would the court? Somebody here is Mr. Slice, you know. But why the court give the case to him? Brother Stephen, this is a $1 million question here. Do you, and I'm not saying, I'm not trying to put you there because he put a kind of like a charge you on draw. Do you talk to your lawyer maybe to submit yourself to say, hey, I want to get this thing testing, because that is a kind of hook that he tries to put on you. Was that something that you unveil yourself to? I am not this person, I'm not this, I want to go through the test. You did something like that just to vindicate yourself?
Yes, I just got a lawyer. So I told my lawyer that I wanted to do the test. I'm waiting to do the alcohol test and the drug test. I'm waiting.
Some emotion is coming into play right now.
Yeah, I'm waiting to do it. But now, after I get a kiss to them, should I talk about that? About a kiss? Okay. I'm just trying to make sure with my mom if I can talk about this, because my play mom, if I can talk about this. Because
Right.
after I gave the children to them, they went behind my back and closed the kiss.
Hmm.
So now to open the kiss, because it's a penny kiss, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard because they have the children right now. It's just something that's difficult right now. So I just feel like they're not doing this because of the
Do
children.
you feel the justice system now? Do you feel that is in America is playing out here, or you feel that you're somewhere else, maybe outside of America, seeing what is happening here? However, they have their own job to do to find out other the facts. It's not like or because this person said this, they want to get all of it, not circumcision, all of it. We're seeing the picture, we're seeing everything, but they want to get it. But do you feel like the justice is not playing in your favor?
Yeah, I feel that the justice is playing in my favor. One is because if I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a judge, but if somebody accuse somebody of drugs or any kind of stuff, the person accused, you should go and do an investigation and see. Do a test on the person. We're not in Africa, we're in America. You should have did a test on the person to know exactly, sorry, if the person is actually doing that. But they never did it. They never tell me to allow to do tests. They never tell me to do tests, anything like that. They just want to and just rules the way they want to. And that just make me feel like I just feel like it's not normal. Can I have a charger?
Now you coming out explaining this here. I believe there's a motive, probably sharing this story here. Is that you say your aunt there, is she willing to talk to us as well, or something? Is that something she's willing to do?
Yeah, she wanted to say something.
Okay, let's see if we can get her on the camera as well, so that is it possible that she can come closer to you so that we can hear from her?
Yeah, she's. They want to talk to.
Hello?
Hello, Ty. Good evening. Oh, okay. Let's see here. The camera gone off. Let's see, folks. We want to welcome you. Sometimes we have to undo politics. Maybe the second segment, if all goes well, we're going to do that. But there are a lot of social. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. They are back. Okay. Are you guys there? Just if you can fix the camera, good. I would love that. Okay, you're much more visible if you can push the camera a little bit upward. All right. So this one here, this is not Texas court now. We're just having a conversation with the hope for us to get to the bottom line and know exactly what happens and what we need to do and how in the long term other people it can be avoided. What's the name?
My name is Vivian.
Vivian. Okay.
Mhm.
Who is Cynthia to you?
Cynthia, I say she's my daughter.
My daughter.
I moved back to Dallas a couple years ago.
Mhm.
I don't know why. Um, I just took a liking to her, and I've been mentoring her. Make sure she's doing things right and just getting her life together since she's the only family here.
No.
She has
So
nobody here.
nobody. So you are currently, are you the one currently hosting her? Is that correct?
Yes, she right now she's in the shelter, and so but sometimes because what's going on, so she will come and hang and stay here for the day and then go back where she stay. But we're just trying to get things handled so she can have her babies back.
So let me get your side here. Do you remember Cynthia sharing the narrative she just provided, sharing anything of such with you at some point in time?
Yes, in 2019 when she first got into a fight with him, and she called me. Her eyes was bleeding. Um, and she told me what happened, and the fight, um, and the a charge were pressed, but knowing her, and the reason why she looked in his phone, you were having a text with another girl, so she looked in his phone, and she was like, "Give me my phone." Both of them were fighting over the phone, and he grabbed her against the wall and pounding on her. She was trying to escape, and she bit her his hand to let go of her neck.
Hmm.
When he let go of her neck from the bite, she ran outside while her eye was bleeding, and then the neighbor called the cops. When the neighbor called the cops, and when the cops came, so I convinced her. I said, "You have no idea going in his phone. Go ahead and drop the case." So just go ahead, get your life together, and you have nobody here. Your parents in Africa depending on you. Start looking in the man phone. Your girlfriend, you start acting like a wife. Get your life together. Finish your school. So when she was going through the abuse, she didn't tell me because she know I was already disappointed in her for going back to him, because I told her don't go back. So she didn't tell me about the when she was pregnant with the second child. She didn't tell me because I know she knew. Every time I see her in church, she would look at my face, and there was no smile on my face at all because I was disappointed in her for going back there. So when she left, when the second when is the this abuse happened, I was not told at all. So when she was in Florida, I didn't know she was in Florida. And when it decided to fight for custody for the kids, she called me. She started crying on the phone. "I know you are disappointing me. I know I disappointed you for going back there, but please forgive me. I need your help."
Okay, so let's ask here, and I heard you talking about shelter here. Let me ask her first. Let her come from our house. Let her come from our. Cynthia,
Yeah.
are you a shelter?
Yeah.
Why? You not you have you been tested by drugs or whatever? You're not not meant to sign me. No, I don't see any physical disability that warrant you. So why are you in a shelter?
I'm in a shelter because we're going through the court, and I came over here, don't have my own place in Dallas, because when I was in Jacksonville, I was doing everything possible to just get a roof over me and my children here. But it took me for over there, take me for my job. I even paid a down payment on $900 for an apartment. They took me for over everything. So when I came here, like for my kids to just go on fun and stuff, so I had to stay in the shelter. That's why I was advised by the police officer to stay in the shelter.
That's why the police, that was the only alternative they provided? Was
Yes,
that Dallas police?
yeah, because me being threat, for me being threat by the
Was it
family
some
and all that stuff.
is
So
that was that a recommended safety measure they were suggesting to you?
yes,
So you are currently in the shelter.
yes.
Hmm. That's a very difficult one to deal with. Am I correct?
Yeah, it is. But I'm fighting for my kids. I have to get my children back.
How are you going to do that? What sort of support you people are listening? And
And I'm asking my librarian people and all over the world to please help me donate any amount that you have. Please, please donate so I can fight for my kids, get a lawyer, fight for my kids. Because now my lawyer is charging 400 of I mean 4,000 on firm. Then the rest of it I can be paying for down payment. Which like I'm trying to get a job here since I already lose my job in Jacksonville. Been here. I don't know how long it's gonna take for me to get my kids, but I actually went for a drugs interview, everything. So hopefully they should be able to offer me a job by this week or next week. I'll be working at the same time paying my lawyer, but I'm asking my librarian people and all over the world to please help me donate so I can fight back to get my children, especially for my 4 months that just stays sucking breast. It's kind of hard for me. I don't sleep at night. Like I always calling my play mom on the phone to stay on the phone with me because I be crying, telling her that I miss my kids. I can't do this. My heart I just not in peace. Even today, like I had to let her to pick me up because I was not to myself. I'm just not to myself at all.
because and the reason what the lady, I'm sorry, I forgot. Now you sent your
Vivian.
Vivian. Because the possibility of getting the kids while in shelter is, I just not see it coming because part of that is you have to have the kids somewhere,
Well,
you know,
right. The
to be.
reason, the one I'm sorry, but the reason we decided to go to the shelter because through the shelter is more assistant. There's more advocate out there through the shelter for assist with a system.
Hmm.
So that's what we decided to go the shelter route, and we can find different second opinions on lawyers and see which one and to the shelter what. Because when you go to a shelter, because you no one can just leave their home and go to a shelter.
No,
There's a reason why, and her reason was domestic violence, and that's her reason. She needed she had no place to stay when she was abused, and everybody told her to move out. Not working, she had nowhere to go, and she escaped her abuser, and then her abuser called her back and said, "Come back. I'm not done with you yet." So we to the shelter, like I said, she does come here, but when live in the shelter, you have to go home at certain time, and I have to let them know, okay, she's gonna spend the night here, or but she there in there. But
hmm.
once the kids go, and like last time we are on the call, and a lot of people say, I've been through that. It's not gonna be easy. And if anybody tell
Does
you
she have like a case worker, somebody to working with her directly to help
that
her to
that
guide her through the process?
that's the point of the shelter. We got kids, people working with her, trying to come a different way to get the kids. and it's not an easy process at all. If somebody come to her and say you're gonna get your kids in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, it's not an easy process. It's a month, almost a year process.
But this guy is behind it. I heard her saying this guy is currently, is he behind bars? So then
Yes,
what? So then who are in custody of the kids?
the kids are in custody of his
So what?
parents. Is
The
no the
parents?
Yes, the kids are in custody of the address he has on the file.
His mother or immediate
It's
mother?
his his parents. So like I said, once again, this is not about, this case was never about her. This case was never about him. This case was never about the kids. This case was trying to prove a point. And
What?
at the end of the day, I want everything covered. I really want to see what the point was about. They were trying to prove, because now the dad that said he wanted the kids, he's not there to take care of the kids. So why not give the kids to the mom back?
Yeah, especially my 2 months is
Especially
my
the
2 months.
the baby that were forced to take a bottle because her mom is not there to breastfeed her.
What sort of support systems are you providing besides this sort of explanation? And I know there is a huge community. Do they have like a Liberian community based in Texas?
To be honest, there's a Liberian community based in Dallas.
Dallas, huh?
I've been called professional. I've been called professional trader. I've been called every name because I decided to help her, and I've been called every nobody no, and me coming from Liberia and me being a Liberian, I am very, very, very disappointed in a lot of our Dallas Liberian community, because when we know a family so close, and we're so afraid to tell that family it's not the right way to go, and everybody are so afraid to say something. Everybody say, oh, it's not my business, it's not my business, it's not my business. So every name there is in the book, I've been called, because I decided to take a stand and decide to help her. So when it comes to the Dallas community, special, one of the sister or husband, he's the vice president of the DFW men's in Dallas. So everybody. So it's not nobody helping at all in the Dallas, the community we know. I don't know the Liberian community that much. So I've never been to
Do you
into
think adequate information is being provided to them as well
the
that warrant helping out or whatever?
it just and I speak this I speak on, because we people, general, we people, we attend to stick with our path. We attend to just listen to one side. And you can call everybody in Dallas, they will say, oh, I saw this little girl, her eye. And when I start, oh yeah, I saw her. I saw her in the store. She had glasses on. She was covering her face because she was hit. I didn't want her to get in there because it was none of my business. Oh, I saw her. Oh, I talked to her. And a lot of people were disappointed because they saw and they talked to her to leave, and she didn't leave. And so they just put their hand out of it and say, okay, maybe she gonna go back there again. Why should I put my neck on the line for her if she's gonna go back there again? But at the end of the day, a child or children was involved, or children, when the children is involved in it, we just have to step up and do the right thing.
How do you intend to make her independent to help out? Because, like I said, her stay in the shelter in Cynthia, it's going to be a challenge. And the court system here is not like back there. You can just want to talk to somebody and you think it's going to happen overnight. Even if you get a counselor or caseworker, they're going to take a lot of things into consideration. Uh, of course, these pictures are something that you can display to say, oh, potential violence is being committed, but they're going to go beyond to do a lot of things. I don't know, because she should show some sort of independency to say yes. She shouldn't allow herself to be defined by this gentleman, whatever way he wants it to be, but to have that sort of independency on her own, and maybe it can speak up for herself. Let me ask her here, Cynthia.
Yes.
There's not a guarantee with our people. Liberian people can give, but their giving is either on a rainy day, sunshine day, or whatever moon day. Because sometimes we give for crazy thing, and somebody say, "Oh, why am I giving her?" In fact, she love for it. She being inside there and this and that. So, and this is a sort of kind of fear that sometimes when people have, they don't want to put it out there, because instead of people to counsel them, to give them courage to say you can do it, you can make it, this is the way to go, I can help you to do this, to do that. Not all. We have few people who are very helpful and will guide you through the process, and but other people to see it as a Margaret as well. But you have to gain independence in order to kind of change this whole story, because you don't want to allow people to define you. You can better define yourself. How do you intend to gain that independence so that they will see you to say, hey, in fact, this is not the kind of person she is. How you intend to do that? You,
Mm,
I know one of the good steps you're taking, you say you're finding a job, correct?
yes.
Do you have any to add? I don't mean to put inside, but we are having this sort of conversation here. Do you have any to record maybe on your file that warrant you from working restrictions or some sort of a violence type anything?
No, not at all.
So
No.
you're confident this rainy day will come to an end by the time you get something to do.
Yes.
Hmm. Is there any lesson learned in the past years, knowing what we know, hearing what we are hearing now? Is there any deep sense of a lesson that's learned?
Well, it been a lot of lesson learned for me, and one lesson I learned is whenever you're in a relationship as a female, you can. It's not a bad thing that you cannot open up to a man, but don't open up everything to the person, because that's what I did. When I have $5, he know I got $5 because I will bring it out of my closet and just give it to him. I'm like, oh, I have this today. We can eat with this. We can drink with this. But when he have his own, he will take like 5% and just show it, and then the rest he'll keep it by himself. Then when I go broke, he call me broke. He call me, you're not getting to your account, knowing that they see money that see she had. She was bringing everything out. They didn't have anything. That I had nothing to have for him. So one of the lessons I always tell to every female is get your own back. Don't never depend on a man. Get your own back. And if you have 50%, don't just give all that 50% to a man. Don't do it. Always have something saving for yourself. Because you bring everything out of your closet tomorrow when you don't have it, they're not gonna be there for you. I mean, it's not every man, but some men they're not gonna be there for you. If you bring everything out of your closet, they're not gonna be there for you because you actually giving more, and they're giving only 5%. Then tomorrow when you go broke, they call you all kind of names. You lazy, you broke, you're not getting nothing in your account. They call you all kind of names. Always have your own back.
Hmm.
Never depend on people, not family, not even the man you wear, because the man you wear will disappoint you. They will.
Is it out of anger or your own personal real-time experience you want people to know?
It's just my own personal real time experience that I want people to know. And it's just an advice to young people or women like me, telling them to like always have your own back.
Uh,
Always don't try
Vivian,
on
is
yourself.
Vivian somebody writing here? Iris Temple, yeah. Iris, I don't know whether he's still in Dallas or maybe Chicago, or I think them. I'm not sure Iris where he lives. Vivian, do you know this person, Dr. Ray? One
Yes,
Dr.
I know
Ray?
Tata We're very good.
Have you guys had the opportunity to speak with him? No.
We have not had the opportunities to speak with Tata We're. I know Tata We're is very close to the family.
Is he aware of all that happening? No.
You
um,
sure?
he should be aware of what there is what happening.
You sure? Are you saying from the public cycle or center or you are?
I'm saying that from the opposite side, because I met Tata Well when I know Tata when I was in my 20s. I'm in my late 30s. I lost contact and I haven't talked to him. I don't have his number. Like I said, I'm not involved in the Liberian community down here that much. The Tata Well is very close friends to
Okay, you are disappointed
They're
because
all related to me.
all of them, they don't. Then probably they just we sometimes it's on perception, assertion that okay they know A and they are not helping. You're not involved, so they don't know all of the details. So then how can okay tell them to contact him. So but Aries, if you can send me the number
yeah.
because
I mean, if you send us the number,
yeah,
we will
Aries,
definitely
you can send if you don't want to put it out there, send it to me. I can get it to them.
yeah,
You know,
definitely
one
we'll
of
definitely
you
contact him.
can do it.
But it's
Yeah, the helping system. How can one help Cynthia? There are other people that are listening, all of us, and I don't want you to feel so much bad or guilty of yourself. Some of us, people we have all done crazy things down there. It might not be to that extent. What is important now is we, to manage the crisis, to rescue the situation, and we can talk every other thing. Yes. So how can you, anybody who wants to help, who wants to reach out to extend hand, we all have sisters, nieces, and stuff like that. Things happen. That's not the end of the world. What is important is to reach out to extend that olive branch hand. How can one help you in terms of where they can direct phone, how it can be uh, before it can reach you? Is there any system that you guys have in place or
Mhm.
so?
Yes.
We have on the page, we're gonna send it to you. We have a GoFundMe. You can click on there if you don't want if you don't want to know who you are. Put it. You can click on there and donate. I mean, anything. You don't have to be money. Any advice. Any advice. Oh, I've been there. You can talk to this person in the Dallas community.
I will tell you for this time, money is more or less key because you need to get out of that place to show some independence, to show
Right.
some sort of, I can
Yeah.
make it even though I need my kids, but
Yeah.
see what I have. I get roof over my head.
Right.
I have a
Right.
job.
Right.
These are things that the people are going to be looking for to say, oh, yeah, she can take care of her children. And the narrative can potentially change. And then like a cash app or whatever.
Yes, she
Yeah.
does have Cash App. It's
What's it?
called Ryan Mom.
Money son, Ryan mom.
Can you, is it possible to send that to me so I will just put it up?
Yes.
Yeah, she's gonna hand it to you because I'm using my phone. So once I leave,
I'm gonna send it to you.
it's gonna leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. This is, I don't know. Okay, let's see here. Let me see what Tavia said. Tavia code said, Vivian, I understand that LCADF have not been supported, but it is unfair to say that no one in Texas is supported. I live in Talek, Texas, Fargo, and I've been supporters of in Little Way. Okay, yeah, obviously. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you just gotta get the information and how we go about to process the information too. Uh, that's helpful because sometimes we don't get the information that we're supposed to get out and how to lay out to then it's a problem. But I'm quite sure there are a lot of good people there. They just need a honesty, honest, why
Mm-hmm.
help is needed. People too now, people sick and tired of giving. Sometimes they give to people, and then sooner or later they realize the cost for the giving was wrong. Yeah, can you go back to that gentleman, Cynthia? I know it's a crazy question. If it comes back today to say, hey, I I was stupid. I was crazy. I didn't know what I was doing. Can we have it all over? Is that something? Can you do that?
No,
The Bible says we should forgive.
I mean I can forgive him, but we can't just be together anymore. Like no,
You had enough.
yeah. I've been trying, going back and forth. Every time it's forgive me, I change, but things is not just working. Relationship is not by force. My life is on the line. My kids' life is on the line. Because if I lose my life, what is gonna come out of my kids? How they gonna grow up to be? What kind of man will my son grow up to be? What kind of woman will my daughter grew up to be? So, no. We can co-parenting. He can see a kid. Like I always tell him, from the beginning we've been together. Like I'm not stopping you for seeing your kids. I will never stop you. I'm not putting anything on you like, oh, you will never see your kids. No, I'm not doing that. I can't be that selfish. But are they the relationship
But
wise?
and I
No.
think yes, you have some sort of authenticity here. I don't want to draw the conclusion, but you left and you were kind. And he didn't hear from somebody according to you. You called to say, "Hey, this is where I am." Correct?
Yeah.
You call him. So there was some sort of still forgiveness, understanding that the kids are there, and then the table just flipped around to say, "This is what she did." Are you surprised he did that?
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because we've been to this road last year. I just like my play mom was saying that she disappointed in me. I came back thinking that oh he will never do that. He make a mistake. You know everybody make mistake in life. Even though he said some lies against me like I was molesting my own 2 years old son, but I was like oh maybe he did that out of anger. He did that out of because I left, all that stuff. So I forgave him. Even before getting pregnant with my daughter, I forgave him and stuff. But I'm not surprised. I knew that he was gonna do stuff like that. And the craziest part about it is like, even when I was taking the kids to the appointment, even when I was changing the test there and Medicare to Jacksonville Medicare, I told him. He asked me, "Oh, what about shot my daughter took today because she was newborn, so she had to take all that shot." I told him and I write it down to him. I texted to him. I said, "Oh, this is a shot that she took today." And Ryan have this appointment to check Ryan. This is what happened to him. This is what I explained everything. We was even laughing, telling you that I didn't have no bad intention for him. The sister texted me was, "Oh, I didn't know you were in Jacksonville, but how to call you can bring the kids or someone just send me some picture." I was busy in my children suitcase looking for outfit, taking different pictures, sending to them different outfit on the children, sending it to her. Didn't have nobody attention. Never thought about that. In my head, I was never thinking about that in my head. Like, oh yes. I just feel like, oh, everybody just leave. The relationship's not where you go, I go. That's how I was thinking about like everything is okay. Because me, he was even texting and laughing about it and saying, "Oh, what did the children eat today?" I tell him what the children eat. You working tomorrow? Yes. Everything was okay. Not knowing that they was coming. This one was coming for me. So that when I saw the co people, I cried. I said, "Wow, wow! I didn't know that was gonna happen to me because everything was cool. They was friendly with me. I was busy sending that picture, taking outfit picture of my children, sending it to them. They didn't know that kind of irritation was coming. But it's like I'm not surprised.
I don't know if I put this my number. I want Vivian to send me the. I put my number on the screen here. If you can give it to her, she can text me the cash app information so that
Six
way.
eight two
682 number, even though I'm not in the how they call
six
this
eight two 433
4338802. If she
eight
can
eight
text,
zero
yeah,
two.
02. Yeah, if she can text me the information, I can put it. I can put it up. So that way. And any other information where people can be able, uh, you know, to help. Wow, this is happening right here in America.
I'm just like it's crazy when somebody is not fighting you, when somebody don't have a bad intention for you, and you have bad intention for them. It's crazy, but at the end of the day, Jesus disappointed how to call it, sold him to for a small pocket change. So I'm not surprised. If they can do that to Jesus, they can do it to anybody. I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. It's just a life lesson. It's a life lesson that I had to learn that even your close family can dig your hole, your bury your hole to bury inside. It's just something that everybody just gotta be on a guard and like always have your own back. Don't depend on nobody. Have your own back Because the person you may be depending on can disappoint you. You will not even believe it. When they tell you, say, this is the person that did this to you, you'll be shocked. By the end of the day, you can't change anything. You can't change nobody feeling for you. That's life. It happens.
Yes.
Things happen.
Is that okay? Let me see. I see the number here. Let me get this here because when I see this too, is a lot of stuff run through my head. But I want you to have this kind of conversation. Is this dollar sign is cash app dollar sign is RYANMON 201, right? That's a
Yeah.
cash app. Is there a number, phone number assigned to it? Because sometimes people make it easy. What's the phone number? Is that a 771
Yeah.
number?
No, 972.
Okay, okay, let me just put it because sometimes people assign phone number. Hold on one second, okay. Okay, 972 you say?
Yeah. 814
814
1013.
1013. 1013. I'm gonna put it out here. Make sure that's it, and I can see it here. Let me just put it here. Is that a number there? That number, it looks familiar, correct to you?
1013.
Let me see here. What can I do? Okay, no, I gotta move it. I don't know why there's no edit. Just bear with me a little bit. Okay, but the name on it is correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I think says wow. Oh my goodness. YANMON 201. Okay, and then assign phone number. Okay. 972 you say?
Yeah. 972.
972.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
814
814. Uh-huh.
1013.
One 1013, the number three.
Yeah.
Okay, let me put this one here. All right, this should be the number.
Yeah.
Okay, let me delete this one here before is okay. All right, so let me see here. Let me prove here. In the meantime, is there something that you still want to share with us?
Mm, so far, nothing but just advice out there to young people and to women out there. Cause I just want to advise females like if you're in an abusive relationship and people are telling you to leave, leave before it's too late for you. I know I'm not here to judge anybody because I've been there, but at the end of the day, it's better you leave before it be too late for you. Cause I was hard headed. I felt like I was too when I met him, I was young. That I can't leave him because I'm so used to him. We have kids together. My children gonna have different father. That shouldn't be a worry. Leave, and God is gonna send you somebody better. It go both sides, not just for women, for both men and women. If you're in an abusive relationship, that person is not good for you. Leave before it's too late. That's the only advice I gotta get.
Okay. All right, folks, that's the number here. I just try who get a phone number? Who get a number with Ben? Is that you or Vivian?
That's my number.
The one with the cash out number?
Yeah.
All right, I just try something. I just want to make sure. I don't usually do. We don't usually. For us here, we try to help something that is real, something that has a real lifetime story, and we believe in intervention. Then managing is already a crisis, but what next now is to intervene to be a help. We can critique, we can say, oh, she should have done this. No, that's not the point now. That's not what I'm looking at right now. What is important now is uh, to get a rightful standing, get your own place. Nobody should establish or define your identity to say, oh, you ugly. No, you can better tell yourself. I just acted on this cash. I mean, you want to confirm? I want to make sure whether it is something. Is that a
Yeah,
device that you're using?
yeah, that's the one I'm using.
Any
But
no
I saw
notification?
it came through.
Oh, okay, all right, then that's fine. All right, I just want. So, folks, it is what it is. Everybody have their own. We all got, believe me, we all, it's not you alone, Cynthia. Let me tell you, we all have our own baggage, some sort of story. But sometimes if it doesn't happen to you, and it happens to other people, then you begin to see the stupidness of that person because it's not you. But we don't usually identify our own stupid decision too that we every on a daily basis that we made. But I think I would just want to encourage you. To do the best. Crying is not going to solve it. First and foremost, get out of that place, get a job, and once you get a job and they know that you are earning something, there is an indicator that you can feed the case, you can take care of yourself. That itself, it's going to take care of it because other than that, it's not going to help because when you are where you are currently, if you are there, there's no independence. It's like people. You know what I mean? Yes.
Right.
What we can do here is to give this sort of support and to encourage you, and we shouldn't say we must feel sorry to the extent that we can motivate you. We can tell you to wake up. We all sleep, you sleep, you fall, you wake up and go. You don't have to wait and put your hand up to say, oh, somebody was going to lift my hand because you don't even know who's coming. Whether
Right.
that person are coming through, they're going to also fall and lay over you and just finish you up. So when you slip and fall, get and go and do what we can do. But I just hope with this number here, whether even after this show, the number is there. Let us not before we. I think it's better to help the living than to give to the dead. I don't believe giving to the dead because he or she gone. So who the hell you giving to? So, but when people still have that breath, when you intervene, when you make an impact into their life, it goes a long way. It restaurates. It kind of give them the courage that, oh, even though I didn't expect it, this person is not of my person, but it goes a long way. But unfortunately, we don't do that. So, folks, we beg you. I don't want to sound more political. Uh, it's not the protest business here, it's intervention. And I think that's what we're supposed to be doing to help even our own people that are here before even helping Liberia. I think that is important. If you have your neighbor is drowning and you say, who the hell, after all here, is she in America? What have I have? Who told you? American people are in America here, in America helping us. So while we Liberia are here, we can help people who also make some careless decisions of there's some things and that they have realized it's wrong. So we hopefully that people that are seeing this here, that there's a GoFundMe address. She's a young lady still in a young age, so sometimes they run ahead of their shadow and they don't wait. And so that's not the end of the war. We shouldn't bash her, we shouldn't demean her. Oh, she should have done this. No, we all have done crazy things, believe me. We all have our own baggage that we are carrying with us. Not because we don't get out here, but her courage, her conviction to even come out. Because when I saw this, I like this person, this girl is not in America. When I see this person is not in America. But when I saw this, I know this is your real self. And for you to have a gentleman who appears to look good to display, I don't know that Hennessy or do Walker or whatever. I don't drink those things anyway, so I take my evening, but there's something to have this to see this person. I hope, but he inconstant this here, so I don't know how you can even talk to maybe that one that nighttime NBC nighttime can do that other one here, do that one. But it's kind of hard, and somebody were asking you, this is America. So probably we'll see those things unfolding in Liberia, not here. But hey, there are other terrible things that happen right on our own feet. So, before we leave, Cynthia, we want to thank you so much for sharing your story with us. We will be checking in with you in terms of, whatever help, directions of people to talk to. I will ask Aries if you can send me into Dr. Ray number, that would be good. And we can have that sort of conversation. And this is clearly to show that we behind the microphone, we don't look at other social, we don't look at other issues in our community. All is about CPP, WPP, joy, we are blah, 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 blah. But we have some serious issues, serious problem that we need to take care of. And then we can potentially take care of uh, Liberia. I don't want to do it like a question people calling in to answer. It's not going to solve the problem. I want solutions, what we can do to help you so that you can get back your kids, get your job. You are working before, you're doing everything. But hey, that's not the end of the world. Okay, I see that's okay. I see let me put this here. This is a GoFundMe. W. Thank you so much, Tavi. She's one of the strong voices when it comes to advocating for people's social uh, rights and justice. And that's only very few advocates that we have. All the other people then that fear is all about themselves. One you're letting their interest, they will never do it. Somebody that dying say the person come to you, then you want to take money from the person. This is it's kind of ridiculous. So Tavi, thank you. Yeah, this is www.gofundme.com helps Cynthia obtain a lawyer for custody battle. This is America. Is they don't care whether you work or not. Everything here is very, very. Let me just pin this thing down here with the. It's very expensive. They don't care. The children there, they say you will bring 4,000. There are two things. You make down payment, you make payment plan. They don't. They don't want to know how you're gonna get your money. They are paying. You have to pay them.
Right.
So if we want to see Cynthia to get back on her feet, that's the first and foremost thing that we have to do. And any other thing, when you give, then you can blast at her, then you can call with her. You shouldn't have done that. But if you don't give, then don't talk to her because you're not even helping anyway. So what's the point of you talking to somebody that we're not giving them time? Is your parents home? Are they aware of what's going on?
Yeah, they're aware of what's going on, and they just been disappointed.
You want to let me see, let me put a number here. Let's see. I don't know what I let me see here because people don't do when they not call. Let me put a number here. Maybe people want to just say one or two things, but please, you call her, don't come go make flower with her because then you will end up making flower with me. Call, give her advice, whatever you're able to do, you do it. They're not time for flower here. They want your pa. They're not time for flower here. So let me just put a number here. Let people who able to give it. There are good ones here who want to encourage you, and everybody can get a. Wait, is that what a detour man? There's some. He sang their music some bad. I don't know why. Some bad day. Yeah, some bad day, right? All the kinds. Yeah. So let me just put this number here. If you want to call, we're just going to be here for a few more minutes. Yeah. So you say you're aware. Your parents, they are aware, right?
Yeah, they're aware. Like my mom, she's actually sick because of this are going on. She was disappointed because she had talked to this guy, my kid's father, mom, and she was like, "Oh, Cynthia is your daughter. I don't have nobody. Cynthia don't have nobody, but Cynthia don't have no family. You'll take her to be your daughter." Since she and her son dating and something, so my mom was disappointed. Like, yes, Cynthia was abused. We didn't tell Cynthia to call the police. Cynthia left. My parents didn't even know I was abused. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't even call them to tell them anything.
So why you decided to have this sort of confidence? Why you did that, Cynthia? What was the reason? If you sit down now, can you process it? Why I did what I did to myself? What was the reason?
My point is like I have most points to focus on, especially with we African. I see that a lot it happen even with my kids' father parents do that to my children. Whenever my son do something like he made mistake, they be like, "Oh, you won't be like your father." So I don't like that voice when people do that. So some of that reason that I didn't tell my parents because tomorrow if I forgive my kid's father not coming back together, not that reason, but I don't want to nothing using against my kids that, oh, you're doing that because you won't be like your father, or you won't be like your father. That's that kind of voice is not, it's not good for the kids and stuff. It make them traumatized, it make them feel sad. They don't want to be around anybody, and then they start doing bad stuff.
Yeah.
So for that reason, like my relationship problem, I never tell my parents, never. I never even bring it to family member. I rather call
Yeah.
friends and let them know what's going on than for me to call family member, because
And I think, mhm. And
if I
honestly,
forgive that person tomorrow, my family will not be able to forgive that person.
right. I think that's a very striking point there. And I'm not blaming you for it because there are so many ways people try to make things work because the way you're going to handle it, if I were a brother, I would not handle it. I would just go there, oh, I'm going to go fight that guy. And but I think from the surface, knowing what I'm hearing so far, you did what you could do to maintain and to because the kids there, they might not know anything. And when it grows big, uh, they're gonna hear other things and oh, our mommy need to do this and that and all of that. But I think, but it is where it is, and I don't want you to. I just have to ask you this: we are also on an obligation. People that are listening, we can't just call you and say, oh, and just want to sympathize or empathize with the story without asking question because people want to know now we're going to render judgment. But by just seeing these images here, it just doesn't sound right. I don't see anything that warrant person that even assuming it was a boyfriend business to have treated you or to have taken that kind of actions. Hey, come on, God for I mean, it's not right. And I just feel that we ask all of that questions. Well, let's keep in touch. I think Tavi, she's one of the persons, Cole, she's one of the persons always in the vanguard.
Mm-hmm.
I see one of the genuine advocate, not the political type, because they want people to come their way. No, but I mean genuine, whether she knows you or not. There is this lady. Sometimes I ask her, "Well, you don't get tired?" Always some sort of intervention for people that she knows, you don't know anyway. But the idea that something doesn't sound right, that intervention always comes from out of her. Now, we're living here tonight. What's the message you want to leave with us?
The message I want to leave is just telling people to please help me donate and pray for me, keep me in prayer, because at this moment, only prayer can help me through. Whenever you're praying, anybody, whenever you're praying, keep me in prayer, keep my children in prayer, keep my family in prayer, because they said they are very, very worried. Like my mom, like I said, since she heard that news, she been sick, feeling disappointed. So keep her in prayer too. Keep my children in prayer. Keep me in prayer.
Oh, all right, folks. That's how we're gonna leave it for the rest of the event. And don't hesitate. When things change, when things improve, just how you come here to tell us if there's a brighter light, which of course that's what we want to pray for. Don't hesitate. Let us know. Let we know. We let us know here. You have my information, and we can have that conversation. So whether people give or not, I know you're gonna triumph. It's gonna happen. You get a job. Hey, yesterday I was asking for help, but right now I am on my feet, and I know some of you, some people with sincere and honestly, I pray. I want to thank you so much for sharing your story. It takes courage and bravery to do that because I know very well coming within the domain of the Liberian public to say things about yourself. People, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? This, and that. Yes, well, sometimes you say it and it gets out of your chest and you can move on. And I think in as much all of the years you kept it within and putting it out there, that's another way and just getting it out to overcome all of the challenges and obstacles, the fear, manipulations. That was a key word used here. For A. So the number is there is the $sign RYANMOM 201. Their sound phone number is 972-814-10 13. If you go back to watch this, that's a phone number, right? You can call and talk to her directly just in case. But hey, please, let's just help. No blaming person. Don't why you did this. That's not the point. Help first. When you finish helping, then you can do everything. Let's counsel her. Let's give her the courage and motivation that whatever what happens, let it be a revelation. Let it be a past. Let it be a testimony, but she can move on. Cynthia, I want to thank you so much. Is Vivian there?
Yeah.
Vivian,
Yes, sir.
before we take a leave of you guys, is there any final word you want to share with us as well?
Um, I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you, whoever watching and whoever listening. Thanks for listening. Thanks for having us on your show. This is not a personal thing. We're not trying to make it personal. It's just doing the right thing. Um, but thank you guys so much, and we will listen. If you have any advice, and we'll listen and we'll take her in. Like you said, I'm gonna take her in, and we'll go from there. She's trying to find her place, trying to let her get on her
Yeah.
feet, and be ready for her kids. So,
Mm,
and it will happen. It will not. It's not soon, but it will happen.
yeah.
But
I
but
think getting out of that shelter, that
mhm.
should be the first task that
Yeah,
will allow her free movement. I'm not saying people in shelter. It's almost like a
it's
modern slavery because
yes,
you there, they're going to tell you so time you need a kind of bed. Come on, I mean,
yes, yes,
that was not her lifestyle. So
yes. It
going
wasn't at
now is
all.
some sort of
It,
some sort of modern day because I mean I don't want to go there. So you started a cause. Other folks that are there, I
mhm.
will try to see whether I can get Dr. Red number from Aries. I know him very well,
Okay, that's
and send
better.
it to you guys. And I help. You know what? Let's say
Yes,
when somebody is drowning, what is important is to put that flag out to be rescued, and all else
yes,
shall follow. I mean, you're gonna
yes.
hear all sort of crazy talk, but that's not the time for it. So
Amen.
do whatever you can do. Let her get out there. Let her get out, get on her feet,
Yeah,
find a job,
yes,
right? And believe me, once she get a job and she out of that place, you're gonna fight for yourself. That's
yeah,
it.
yes, ma'am.
That's the bottom line.
Yes, ma'am.
But
Yes.
I want to thank you so much. Don't give up.
Thank you.
We all can learn the hard way. So
Yes.
on the easy, I will not say hard. On the easy way. We're not here to inflict more pains for her. But I think there's a good deal of lessons learned, and
Mhm.
life itself full of experiences and challenges. So Cynthia, thank you. We'll keep you in prayer. And hopefully, the next time we hear you here, we have you here. We want to have a different story. We want to have a testimonials one,
Amen.
not these crazy wartime story that is still ongoing. All
Amen.
right. So thank
Amen.
you so much, and
Okay.
all right, keep fit. Everything gonna be okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank
Amen.
you.
All right. Bye bye.
All right. Bye.
Oh, okay. Well, folks. Yeah, that's the society, that's the world we find ourselves in. That sometimes we in the media industry, and this is kind of a little personal to in itself because when you see this thing here, come on, this is just absurd. It's ridiculous. When you see this here, I think the very first thing you should do is to have an intervention. Now, someone is here in the USA just by seeing these visual, these images, and inflicting those sort of pains, and so it speaks a lot. Something is not right, and we as a community too, we need to do more. Because there are social issues that also tie with the challenges facing in today's world. And so when we put these things down and we just want to dress on top and the bottom part is rotting, it's not going to work. It's not going to work, and that's similar to the problem that is ongoing in Liberia. Yeah, there are a lot of these sort of issues, and we in the media industry we don't put attention. But when Why you need to Joe, we are put on what kind of shoe, Kumi, Joseph Boyka, and all of that. Then we'll talk about it. And this is why we start having this sort of conversation. All of these political actors, we're not hearing anything from them. We're not hearing. Okay, let me speak for myself. I'm not hearing anything concrete, tangible, real time as to how they're going to address all of the challenges facing the country. And when you ask their supporter, they argue, they defend them to the core. Oh, he not nominee yet. Oh, he not elected yet. So wait a minute. You want to get on airflow before you tell me what you're going to do? What you think going to persuade me to say, yeah, this is the right guy, this is the alternative to the crisis in Liberia? When they are not talking about social issue, they are not talking about education, they are not talking about infrastructure, they are not talking about agriculture, then what the heck are they seeking? Why are they running for president? You want to get there first? We don't know who's speaking for them on education. We don't know who's speaking for them on economic policy. We don't know who's talking for them on health issue. But you have 55 voices at the same time, simultaneously talking for these people. So we get no sense of who is who and who is with who. And they are getting along with it. And we just want to see their surrogates, their supporters here, who they themselves also need some mentoring. They are advocating for change when they themselves need to grow up as an adult. Yeah, moving George Weah, that's not just auto A. What are we replacing with George Weah? I don't want to meet up with unknown. I need to know the unknowns. Yes, with wine and crime and Samuel Tue, Nathaniel McGee, Jefferson Koji, but we have many of the other Kojis around these politicians, be it the oppositions as well, but we don't talk about them. Or when people, the brave one, when we talk about them, people say, oh, well, these people, they are jealous of these people. They are like, that's not what I call jealousy is. If you want to be around a statesman or someone who is seeking state office, then you have to be responsible as well. Because even there you are behaving you more than the Jeff and the Mangi and the Tua and all of these people names that we are calling. So why can't you also behave? Why can't you also take out the diaper or the pimples that you are wearing and you think you are adults? Why can't you take that? These people are not telling us anything as to how. Also, do you think if they are elected tomorrow, it's just going to be an automatic, some sort of magic going to take place and everything just going to be like a bread and butter, peanut butter and jelly? They're going to start flowing in Liberia? Absolutely not. So we need to carefully examine, because these people that are around these politicians going to be an influential decision makings of these people. Believe me or not, if they can't stand up, if we can't stand up to them, their behavior, their attitudes, their arrogance, their disrespect for their fellow people, not even taking into consideration other people's views and opinions, whatever they say it must be. That's how tomorrow a Boyka cannot stand up to his supporters or people that are around him within his inner cycle. Alex Coleman cannot stand up with the people within the inner cycle. Then it's equivalent or it's equilibrium as to how we complain about the people within the inner cycle of the president as well. So they make no difference. So then why are we wanting? And what is the essence of the change that we want? People who not even near Ministry of Finance, who not even near City Corporation, who not even near National Port Authority. They are like this. They are all like this now, like an eagle with a wing ready to fly. What happens when those people are there when they get state power? Is that when you're going to raise your voices? Is that when we're going to talk? It's time to do it now. And we need to start having some sort of blueprint, we need to start getting an idea what he Cummings represent, what he, Joseph Boycott, represent. I can talk about CDC right now because they are equipping. So whether we like it or not, they are there right now. What going to validate their re-election is what they're going to introduce. But those that are seeking that office, there's a reason, and they have all right to contest, to seek for that office. However, whether you support them, you need to also question them with honesty as to why, how can it be done differently? How can they contact the international community? Who going to be the face of Liberia? Foreign minister, finance minister. We need to hear. We need to start hearing some names prominent that will sound or ring like credibility within the cycle of the world market. But we have no idea. We have no idea. Nothing. Nothing. We have no idea who's potentially, who are the spokespersons, spokespeople for these politicians that are seeking for a higher office. You always hear this person is the campaign press secretary, the campaign communication. Only very few people that have it. But these people are doing it deliberately because they do not want to be held accountable, and because these people do not have they do not have something special that they want us to hold them of. They do not have that. The political ideology is not there. So everybody hinking like a guardian, because tomorrow a boy cannot succeed if it goes to Kumisa, they will jump there. That sort of uncertainty. That's what they are doing. That's why they don't want to commit it. And we need to force the people. We need to know who are with them. Who are those whisperers, people that are whispering in their ears? When the whole night goes quiet, the last people that talk to them before they go to bed, that even before they can come to the microphone. We need to know all of these people. We're not arguing. We are opting for another surprise. That's what some of us we say as it is. So we don't have enemy, we don't have friends. We move on a neutral pace. We don't necessarily tell you things that you want to hear on this network. We say it as it is, and that's the essence of a media level, to inform, to educate, so that you'll be able to make informed decision. So it is unfortunate when you come here and you think you want to hear something, so you have a good sweet dream. Well, then you miss the mark. We don't give people sweet dream here. Tell you story that will entice you and say, "Oh yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna come back here." No, we are not against. We are not in favor, but we must say it as it is, and we must do it in the interest of our country. But these subliminal messages, these false news, these fake news, these types of propaganda that is being deployed by many of these media outlets is killing us. And unfortunately, we dive into it. I don't know who, I don't know where we are, where we're from. I don't know how many of you watch channels television. If you have not done that, I want you to go to YouTube and look for channels televisions. It's a Nigerian major platform, channels television. Go and see the anger, the correspondence, the host. Listen to the government officials, listen to the oppositions, listen to the advocates. I'm not talking about the fiamomo that we have here. They only advocate when it's beyond their backyard. But when other people are feeling pains, they don't talk about it because they then do not have that political ideology. But they forget to know these people are Liberians. Recently, there was a major forum in Nigeria, advocates. You have the peoples from the musical war, uh, different backgrounds, different society spectrums of society. They stand out, they at the podiums in a big conference, and they arguing. I never hear anybody causing Marcos. I never heard anybody causing president. I never heard anybody causing opposition. But they were talking on things of substance for the good of the country. But Liberia, But Liberians, it's just unbelievable. And unfortunately, I don't have the statistics to that, but women seems to be blowing the trumpet of these sort of most of the bad things. People cussing and say, yeah, don't make it lazy. And you expect to have a good society and you expect to have a good governance when the society, when the generation is corrupted, is polluted, is contaminated, and you expect the on top to be fine. It doesn't work like that. Listen to channels televisions. See the kind of argument when the opposition making their case against the government. When the government counter arguing to the opposition case. When the civil society take a stand. I'm not saying everything about that is 100%. Listen to some of these outlets, Ghana and Sierra Leone, the major talk show hosts. They make the news proportionate. They invite government to get their side of the story. They invite the opposition to get their side of the story. The civil society, they get their side of the story. I'm not talking about these ministers going ordaining Micah Francis, Bishop Brown, and all of these great people, Kula. Well, maybe they might have their political in-closet stuff, but the way we're seeing it right now is just unprecedented. Politicians are laying hand on politician. You will be this 1 year. You will be this 1 year when they're supposed to be focusing, fasting, and praying for the country, for God to bring deliverance and to be a God-fearing leader. They take they want the person to be because probably he or she is giving more offering and demonize it. That's not your role. So they're not even looking at the scripture. You heard what the girl was saying here. They're not even looking at the lady was saying. They're not even looking at the scripture. They have become more or less political than even to fast and pray for the country. And we expect. So do you think when Joseph Boyka become president and everything going to be solved overnight? Or you think when Ella Cummings become president and everything going to be solved overnight? That's an illusion. You're in a different world. You're in a different society. If we cannot checkmate these people that want to be president, even the president who is there now, George Weah, if we can't hold him accountable, if we can't hold Cummings accountable, if we can't hold Joseph Boyka accountable and just experience. Oh, he's from corporate America and he's just going to be, and he get his surrounding is polluted, contaminated, that these people cannot even stand up to them to say, oh, Mr. Chief, yes, even though I support you, but this XYZ you say it is not good for the country. I think you are air on this one, and that these people they are unable to even take responsibility of something, but all they are doing is give justifications of their action. It happened yesterday, so why you're talking today? So is that how the sort of visual cycle? Is that how we want to be doing? So tomorrow when they get there, then when another 25 million go missing to LPRC, they will say, oh, it happened to Noka, Helen Johnson, Saliftan, so we can't talk about it. That's how you guys want us to run the country. And then you expect people, things to happen. Yes, insecurity is talking, but we are now even holding our politicians accountable when the state security is being heavily underfunded. How can they effectively prosecute and go against criminals? Senators, representatives, they are making that huge salary, and we are not even holding people accountable. Look at the deputy minister of yesterday. If you listen to that press statement, his stuff. Government is not just only the executive branch. Yes, we'll hold him accountable because he makes the appointment, but these people, they must also be held accountable of their own actions, of their own doing, their carelessness, and the genuineness towards the Liberian people. So the problem is everywhere. You have a lot of corrupt people here who are preparing and who profess to be the good ones, that tomorrow when we get them state power, we're going to come back to the same talking point. because we are not looking at that. And I said this before, these people never had a strategic plan in as much they wanted George Weah out, in as much there was some bad governance, bad policy, but they didn't sit well. They didn't discuss all that needed to be discussed. They were not honest with one another. Some people brought few baggage and left some behind the door or in the car in the trunk and just went at the conference table and hurriedly and put something together called a framework. From day one, when I saw that, I wrote as this is a crap. This thing wasn't going to hold. And sometimes when people talk it, they try to define you all because you're not. No, no, no. I'm not a supporter because first of all, these people, all of them, they are the same. People that have supported them from start to finish, what becomes of them today? So I'm not a kind of type of driven person. And the history is known. If you look at the opposition history in Liberia, all Liberian conference, the alliance and all of that, it never hold and it will never hold. So all that we're seeing here is a complete waste of time. Waste, whether you like it or not. Complete waste of time. We need to start having an idea how, if Kumi is to be the next president, the Kumi type of cabinet, we need to start get a sense of how it's going to look like by hearing certain voices, certain people that will represent the interest of him. So we can easily make that educated guess that if Kumi becomes a president, this person will be the Minister of Information, this person will be the Minister of Foreign Affairs. We need to start hearing that equally, proportionally from Tai Boyka. But see, most of them, they are children. They're trying to grow overnight, but they are not. And you don't want to understand. You don't want to question that. You're just looking at your short-term goal because you want something to change. And then tomorrow you will start crying, baby cry, you will start crying wolf again. Oh, I didn't know this. I thought it was going to be this. No, 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 no. We need to start having the conversation now. We need to start holding them, all of them accountable, because these people are going to be influential in decision making when one of the two is elected president of the Republic of Liberia. We probably fair to mention enough was said and done in the last time around. We didn't see it coming. We concluded that everything going to be okay. They didn't make that good judgment. We didn't ask all of these questions. You saw Mulligan. They always in the vanguard calling for good governance. People are going to be held accountable. People are going to be behind the rusty iron bar. If you don't work in government, you just don't know how the government system works. So if you are outside of the system, you are just miserably informed as to how government works. When you get in the system, it becomes a different setting. You hear different voices. You deal with different people. So these people, what are we talking? If I dare today, it's not going to work. No, don't believe them. They are not honest to you. They are very dishonest to you. And that's why get us to be where we are today. All of these people, we need to ask them. We need to know who's going to be the face of Liberia. If Joseph Boyka becomes president, by that, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, he's going to be the doyen of the cabinet. We need to know who's going to be the Minister of Information when Benedict Cummings becomes the next president, or Joseph Boyka. Because while that person more or less becomes the official spokesperson of the government of Liberia. I'm not going to have somebody who is arrogant, somebody who does not have respect. I need to know somebody who, when they're talking with the international world, there's some sort of sense of tolerance, courage, convictions, and will be able to articulate properly the message of the government of Liberia. That's what I want. I don't want somebody who's going to come again with a bunch of excuses. No. And overall, I need a mature diplomat to represent my country. Because guess what? When you're in a gathering, when you're in a forum, and a government official is speaking, and that person represents your country, you feel proud, you feel a good sense of relief. That's what we want. But when we have these children playing all around here, and they think government are just some sort of social club, and they think, okay, yeah, these people then and they get their own riches overnight, so we're going to loot our country. It's not going to work. We're going to have some critical conversation about the future of the country. Other than that, For those of you who have now watched this channel's television, it's a Nigerian online network. Go and see people arguing, advocates, radio talk show, or opposition to government officials. Conversations are conducted in a safer context, with clarity. Tough questions are asked. Not give oatmeal or cream on wheat cocodolo question. You want to be president? Yeah. No. That's Shaman Brand, ELTV, yes or no. The how, when, and how you're going to do it. Those are critical questions we need to be talking about. You don't tell me you're just going to build a road. You need to tell me how you're going to build a road. You're going to tell me ANC, Unity Party, CDC, they need to tell us all of these group of people they have at their supporter brigade, we're going to be their future if they are elected. They're going to bring them in. You think these people working for nothing? Nobody tell you say they're advocating because they don't want to work in government. That lie. I too want to work in government. It's not why you, it's your honesty and sincerity you are taking to serve your country. Who doesn't want to serve their country? But their commitment is what we are asking. So all of these things that we are seeing all happening today, they all ties in with government. There are a lot of social issues. Policemen, yes, we accuse police having corruption. But what is the pay of the policeman? When you have your senator from your county is making $15,000, and you have a policeman standing in the street there making less than $200-300 with one faded uniform that he wears today, tomorrow he got to wear, and maybe he get dressed before he goes to work, and nothing. And you expect to have a good society, and we're not even asking the lawmakers, people who argues on bills and approve and all of that, we're not questioning them. Do you think that is fair? Of course, absolutely not. So there are so many factors that led to the failing system that we are having today. But our inability to address this issue, and we shield and protect and guard these politicians who wants to take state power. They are not answering these questions. Their supporters take them away. They should go to certain platform because they want to spoon feed them with questions and say something. And you're there, you're cheering them. Then tomorrow when you get there, then you come pull your noses up and start telling us, I didn't know this, knowing what I know. You know it now, but you are deliberately on purpose playing blind eye because you're just so much politically driven. You're not putting the interests of your country. Yeah, so we're always making comparison. Look, change does not come, so no pain, no gain. If you want changes to take place, certain things has to be done. Some people got to feel pain down the road. People got to go behind bars for good. Where is Jesse Jackson Jr., lawmaker, former congressman? Can we have that sort of society? Can these people tell us? Can they commit to us? They can submit themselves to proper audit and not just audit, independent audit of their record. When I say good governance, what is the definitions of good governance? Or just talking about and people do their good. No. Don't just salad dress everything. You need to tell me in details what your good governance style is going to look like. What going to be the standard of what will be the moral standards of your government? The kind of people that you're going to have. You want to come bring somebody who calls people man, calls people pie, and made them minister, and tomorrow you expect me to respect that person or the other group to respect that person? What's wrong with you? Every day, one person does one thing over and over, they come and apologize and say, yeah. When will they change? It's not a social club. We are talking about a sovereign nation, Republic of Liberia. And our country is being treated so badly. And surveillance and the electorates, we Liberia have to facilitate that process because we allow our politicians to do that and they get away with it. And you expect kingdom to come down. You take Obama now, who served 2 terms and came into Liberia, it's going to be the same old freaking thing, because our mentality, our mindset is just far from human reality. Care Obama, care Michelle, care Bill Clinton, care Hillary, care all the presidents made them minister. It will, as long as they have Liberian people honor, it will still be the same old thing. Because we just do not have a standard. Because we do not have a structure, or the structure out there, we fail deliberately to enforce and execute those, and we'll expect things to change. Our conversation is not ceasing. Somebody can honor my post. When they write something, when I disagree with them, I block them. When somebody say every little thing, it go under your skin. Democracy is a tough one. It's not you tell the one, you tell the one, you win, you tell the one, no. You saw John McCain. When the ordinary supporter of John McCain made a ridiculous comment about Barack Obama, McCain with courage went and took the microphone and said, this is not what my campaign represents. How many of these politicians does that? We see people that are their handbags, they're cussing, they're acting stupid, behaving like children. And these people, the grown men, they play blind ears, eyes, they act like they don't know what's going on, and they say, oh yeah, we don't have control over this. But tomorrow, potentially, these people are going to be, they might, or they will be part of their government. So then what do you expect? What do you expect? Now we have Prophet Key and other people. Maybe the next one we're going to have the Messiah, Jesus Christ, and you're going to be in a different form. You're going to be in a different context, because the situation, we fail to arrest the situation. And that's one thing we know. We don't prevent. We always like to manage crisis. That's what we're good for. We don't prevent crisis. We like to manage it, and we can't even manage it properly. Let me show you this. I sure have the second segment, some of our folks from my own county, GGAA. Let me show you the video here. This is why it's just I don't know, but let me just show you. This is one of the candidates arrived in the county. It's a competition. Tension will be high, but for God's sake, if the leaders of these people cannot, if you can't continue your supporters, I know there will be some people that will be always act stupid, and it's less costly to deal with stupid people. People that are stupid, it's less costly. You don't pay anything. They act crazy and that's it. But a smart one, it's costly to deal with them. So we need to open our eyes and really keep eyes on these people. If you have a leader and you see the surroundings of the leader, and his hair scratching, it gives you a sense of what it's going to look like. If I'm a leader of this network and I want to have my staff who just think they can do anything because they want to do it, and I can say anything, what happened? It means I endorse what they are doing, indirectly approve of they are doing, but I acting like as if I don't know. See this here.
All right, good morning, everybody. What you're seeing here is the partisans of the CDC candidate, Jeremiah Sokan, blocking the way from the supporters of Euro Madison Green. For whatever reason, we don't know. And today is the launching day of Honorable Madison Green. This shouldn't be happening. This in no way must be happening in our county. This is not right. This is not right. This is not right. This is not right. What you see here is not right. This does not represent the people of Grand Juda County. TN District is better than this. These people must stop this. You know, these people must stop this. You know, they are fighting. as you can see there, you know, they want to kill, they want to kill one another now. From the Euro Madison Green camp and the CDC supported camp. You know, this is bad. This is bad. They want this election to be blooded. They want this election to be blooded. You know, this shouldn't be happening in Grand Gila County. This is shameful. This is shameful. If the CDC man, how do you call it, leadership, I think it is now time that they take action. This is very bad. This is disturbing the government image. Okay, as you see, the ladies there throwing stones, and I mean, honestly, we don't know what's good.
Okay. I don't know. This is so ridiculous, absurd, unbelievable in the 21st century. People contesting for a representative position state. And you have another group of people. You launch a campaign. We don't know all of the details here, but just by seeing these images and the image and this person that narrating, we extended invitation for the group, both group. One of the group agreed to appear, but for whatever reason, no call, no show. They didn't send a message. We didn't hear anything. That's part of it. That's Representative Slot. So the entire country is engulfed with violence. Violence is because the leaders themselves endorse those sort of behavior, because when their people are doing it, they don't take any concrete step to stop it. They don't say anything because it plays to their base. Not even the result. So imagine you saw all that you saw today, that from that video. Did you see any police officer or any law enforcers? No. Probably because they don't have the capacity. Is that enough excuse for that? Absolutely not. But who the hunter that you are saying hunter gone to bush say animal and they don't even carry not a rifle? So see, it's just happening in one county. We don't know what's going on in the other place. So imagine forecast comes 2023. You know, you remind me during the first elections, I was involved when on one campaign trail that was, I think it was Nima County or whatever, during the Charles Taylor administration. For those of you, some of you will remember, one of the campaigns, Helen Johnson Sirleaf, they were contesting. One of the places people went, people were using acid water. They were using chemical to spray people. There's a lady that I know today. She having a vision problem because of that. So see what is happening. I imagine comes 2023. Presidential, where you're going to have three major elections taking place simultaneously. You're going to have the presidential and the two houses, upper and lower houses elections are going to be going on. So everybody going to cry their own cry. Everybody going to be blowing their own trumpet or own horn. Do we have the security in the country to police to handle the task ahead? Are we thinking of that? Are we considering that? But we have leaders who are chief facilitators of this sort of violence that is going on in the country, because their inability, they do not want to alienate their base, or they do not want to get somebody mad, because when they get this person mad, the person going to flip on them. So allow these people to go to have this sort of free ride. We're not discussing, we're not even thinking. You don't hear them talking anything about security, how they're going to restructure the security. The security, police, or paramilitary, these are professional institutions that are going to bring professional people on board, not a partisan-driven institution. You saw your Bill Gates, not Bill Gates, this guy, a former defense secretary from Republican, when Obama Robert Gates, when Obama took charge, he was still there as a defense secretary. Do you think Obama never had people in his rank and file who are defense intelligence that could also deserve that job? But more or less, they put the interests of the country. So we need to start hearing these people who they are going to be bringing on board to instill law and order and discipline. But you guys are not giving us the chance. And the civilians or the citizenry are the more troublemaker in this whole thing. Because they don't even hear from the candidate and they already feel telling that I support their man here because there's a code name already. What have they told you? On what basis you are supporting who and who now? What are they offering? How are they going to downsize government? How are they going to get the revenues of the country? How are they going to build the economy? What is their educational plan? What is their infrastructural plan? What is their healthcare program? How much are they willing to invest with healthcare? How do they intend to get the money? Who are they talking to? You're not even asking. Nobody asking that question. They bring them and dress them any kind of way, sneak them somewhere, go places, dance and move from there. And they say, yeah, man, they are calling to the pool. You don't know what is pool? Or you think people call on telephone, you know what? Pool is based on substance, is based on specific thing. Who are these people, these network conducting these so-called pool, making phone calls and doing the, where are the people to talk to? What did the people tell them? You must have specific, the burning issues, the issues that are facing the people. Those are the things on the basis of that you draw out questions, and that's how campu is conducted. You maybe give a person, we talk to so X number of people, and this is what they are telling us. And usually these things goes on in the battleground state, because more or less they are the principal deciders of the vote. According to our pool, they want to do this here. We win 40% and get 60%. They percent. Really? Liberia? They tell you that how Ghana or Sierra Leone can do their own pool business? They go to people, they talk on burning issues that are confronting the nations, the challenges of the ordinary Liberian. Those are the things you're going to talk about. For God's sake, if you don't even know you can watch CNN, you can do it. They tell us specific where government or where the society is falling short. And that's how opinion polls are conducted and specific institutions based on data. And wake up in the morning, you can't sit on TV, you wash your face and you deceive people with subliminal messages, false, fake news, propagandas, and all of that. And you want the country to change? You guys are the one that killing that country. Well, folks, we're going to leave it here this evening. But all of the people that are contesting, saying yourself, my leader, and will wait until they become candidates, we will not wait. We'll continue to talk what we're supposed to talk. I want to get a sense of, I want to know the inner world of Joseph Boyka. I want to know the inner world of Alexander Cummings. Why I should entrust the economy of the country in Joseph Boyka administrations, Benedict Cummings administrations. I'm not saying it because he's already there. We know what's going on. Electors will be the principal decider. But if you are coming in as an alternative, there must be something that you present. People that are within your cycle. There are some people, when they say something today, we will hold them responsible because they are the direct handbags of Joseph Boyka and Alexander Cummings. Because they are within these people proximity, they are closer to them. So directly, indirectly, when they say something ridiculous, when they talk some stupid talk, and these people can come out to tell them what they are saying is not in the interest of the country, we will say it. Because then you're giving me a sense of idea, the cabinet type, the kind of people that they're going to have in government. I don't want Black Dragon Revenge the Death of Bruce Lee's type of government. No. Yeah, the other people did it, so it's our time to do it. Okay, the other people get away with it, so we can do it now. You shouldn't talk about it. No. That's not what we want. We want all to be held accountable. Again, if you're not watch Channels Television, go on YouTube and just search for Channels Televisions, a Nigerian, one of Nigeria's biggest uh, premier outlet. Listen to the conversation. Listen to opposition. Listen to government. I'm not saying everything about that is 100%, but the tone of their conversation is set the pace to give the ordinary Nigerians a sense of the directions of the country and how they're going to process the information and make informed information. Look at our network. They say they're supporting Boyka, they're supporting Cummins, they're supporting CDC. How many of them can tell you exactly what these institutions represents? How many of them can tell you this is how much, if my guy is elected, this is how much he going to invest into education, into agriculture, into health, into infrastructure? They tell you that? No. They go after one another. Cussing. We're having the cursing visual now. It's because Liberia loves drama. And what his name said, what this guy named from Canada, he was saying it the other day. If you want to create a crowd, just create a drama. I mean, take out a share just and start acting crazy. By the time you go low, boo, you're gone. So we love drama. Because we love drama, we always create a dramatic situation. And when you create a dramatic situation, you have a dramatic government. And when you have a dramatic government, you have a dramatic country. And that's what is happening. And people are not grasping that sense. They still want us to live in the fantasy land. Cummins and Boyka needs to debate. And I hope they give us the opportunity so we can host one here. I'm not talking about entertainment question. No, real questions of substance, questions that will go into their belly and tell her exactly why the presidency is so important. They need to debate. They need to. We need to see that blueprint, even though they're not something, but they are all running their own campaign. Literally, you can see. I need to know the official communication spokespersons of Boyka. I need to know the foreign affairs spokespersons who going to be talking to with the international community. I want to see a representative from the Boyka, Kumesa, who going to be visiting the ECOWAS, the European Union, the US, to lobby. They're waiting for us until they get elected, then they will start when we are already drowning. So nobody is taking charge of leadership. Nobody is showing any sense of leadership. Then you say you have political parties. These are social clubs. Political party that's not even that, some of them that are not fully represented in the 15 sub-political divisions of the country. And they call that political party. Liberia is Morovia. Morovia is Liberia. Absolutely not. And our guys then they were going the other day, they flying, they carry plane. They want to Grand Nigeria, they go plane. So any of these people, they living from that place, they will carry plane to Sound of Maryland, all those places. I don't know. Country. Well, guys, that's just how we're going to leave it. My hair's a panning and then we'll take Tylenol. But we will continue to talk for our country. We can't leave it in the hands of these belly-driven people and just want it for themselves. No. Those who will listen, they will listen. Those who are going to grab, they will grab it. But I can tell you, having a good governance, it just doesn't start with the executive branch of government. It's part and parcel of the process. But all of us need that transformation in terms of what is Liberia to me? Liberia, what does it represent to me? Why is it representing to you if you are called to duty? It's not a bad thing to work for. Everybody want a state job here in the U.S. and other parts because there's a benefit. It's a humble thing to serve your country. But what you are taking, your conscience, you are taking. Why are these people here? They behave good when they go to the library. They do something else. So what is there? Is it from here to France? You change your plane from France to Mali or Sierra Leone, and then you get to the library. Then you become a different person. What is responsible? I don't know. But I just feel these people are just dishonest. They don't like their country. They pretend, they profess to be the good ones, but they are not. They are just not. And we allow them to get away. I didn't, they say, let me see here. We respect people's view. Let me see here. Somebody, let me see. Madam Richardson, I love listening to brother, but I disagree because no candidate set up ministers until the win election. That's not what I was saying. I said we need to know these people that are speaking for these people. You saw Benny Barrett or Benny Gates, what is the lady name? We saw Jen Psaki was the campaign presidential campaign press secretary. So if you follow the trend of communication, you get a sense of potentially you know exactly what will be her role if Joe Biden is elected or Joe Biden, is elected, and what that happens. From campaign press secretary, when Joe Biden was elected, Jen Psaki went to the state to the White House as presidential press secretary. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying Kumi or Joseph Boyka should come, but when you will always hear these people have economic advisor, foreign policy advisor, this type of advisor. How many advisors here? Put me into the spotlight. How many advisors have you heard from Kumi, from Joseph Boyka, or from all of this? I'm not calling we are name because you get Archibald Bonner and Charles Bright and all of those people here. So what I'm saying here is for us, people that support these people, they need to start encouraging them. Let us know the people that are speaking for them. Instead of when anybody come who support them, just say something, and then at the end of the day, when question comes to them, they are not speaking for me, they're speaking for themselves. We need to know their communication director. There are tons of advisors. We need to know these people. Who are they? Are they Liberians? And if they are Liberian, what are they hiding? Why can't we know them? If they support a party, why can't they come in the front so we know exactly? That would give us a sense of his surrounding. That would move the goalpost for some of us or for some other free thinkers. That's just what I'm saying. Not for he to come out to name. Yeah, if one becomes a nominee, then we can have a kitchen type of cabinet. But in the meantime, there are some few selective positions or people that we need to know that are working within their inner cycle. I don't want a situation tomorrow if any of them are elected to come be to stay on because there is no plan. They never had a plan in the first place. And that's what we saw happening. Yeah, CDC is a big party. Eugene Nambe, this and that. We saw more than 4 or 5 people stay on to continue because probably there was no strategic plan. And into government, when you come into it, there are few ministry or few things immediately as soon as you get elected to get rolling. Those people should come because those are people that are going to represent your agenda. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Information, Planning, Economic, or whatever. Those are very strategic positions that drive the agenda of the government. And those are people whoever going to be elected or the candidate must confide into, and these are people that have some great credentials and good in the eyes of the international community. For example, your foreign minister to represent their country, speaks for your country, and that person must have a good diplomatic credentials to represent your country, because he or she is going to do all of the damage control and redefine your country and lobby out there. That's what I saw. Who is a foreign affair? Who is a foreign spokesperson? Who is a policy advisor? Who are these people that are advising these people on policy issue? And what sort of policy are we going to see in their administrations? What are their priorities? These are valid and legitimate questions that we need to start asking. They don't have to be a candidate, or they don't have to be a nominee. They don't have to win an election before we see that. We need to start seeing the different types of advisors. That would be the people that will be deliverable to the country. That's what we are saying. But anyway, it's here you can express your views and your opinion, but we need to tell these people exactly. Running government is not running a social club. It's far different from running a political party. To run a government is far different from running a political party. I become nervous if they can't even properly manage the affairs, the structure of the political institutions, their campaign, how their campaign is structured, who is speaking for who is who, where to go to get something, and everything is under the clouds of darkness, or few people have access to it, that you have to call a million people to know where you can get information, then that's something worth giving a second thought. Well, we also have a time here. I want to thank you so much for being here this evening. Until then, by God's willing, same time, same station, we're going to be right back here to have another conversation here. Keep your comments, your tweets. You can send our inbox suggestions where you think we are falling short and what we can do to improve. Of course, we do not have dominion over everything, but I will try to do the best possibly we can to have an honest conversation. We are doing everything possible. Hopefully, if it goes well, we're going to bring you highlights of the primary. 4 major primaries will be going on, not primary, special elections. I'm sorry. That's Bombing, Bon County, Nima, and Grand Juliet. We're going to see what happens. The opposition, the establishment, they are all, fighting it all out there. May the best person win. I don't know whether they are some of them that believe hard debate or whatever it is. We don't know what they're going to be voting for. But at the end of the day, I know somebody's going to be elected. We just pray for a peaceful process, that people should be given the chance to exercise their God-given right to participate into the process. Until then, I'm Alfonso Z and Salt of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. To want to thank all of our viewers and listeners. If they're your first time here with us, we want to thank you so much. Just follow LPR, Liberia Public Radio. You go on the Facebook page, type in Liberia Public Radio, follow us, like the page. In addition to podcasts, we also have an official website where both local and international, some of the conversations are transcribed. You go to www.liberiapublicradio.com. It's an official website of this network. In fact, this podcast is also simulcast right there on our official website, liberiapublicradio.com. If you have a business, you want to advertise, you need coverage right here in the U.S., Europe, Liberia, and in part of the world, as long as you have access to internet, let us know. We can extend your message to our base, to our followers across. So let us know. We involve in multitudes of roles. We have a special crew. You're having a weddings, conventions, reunions, party, any sort of historical event you intend to have, and you need videographer, video coverage, or what have you. Let us know. Professionals, people, world professionals, all in high definition, high def. I can tell you for sure. Let us know, and we're going to we can do that. Our number is 682-433-8802. You can send an inbox, go back to the video if there's any reservations or observations. We are subscribed to accepting your views, your opinion as well. We will say, yeah, our views and our opinions, but we try to do it in a very candid fashion. So this is what language and things here, but sometimes we will sound a little bit over the edge because we want the message to go and be output. However, it's going to be done with respect, as deliberate progressive always says. Until then, I want to thank you so much for being part of today's program. We will be monitoring what is happening in the four counties, special elections, Grand Jude, Bomi, Bon County, and the battleground state of Nima. And we're going to more likely get a sense of how it's going to play out in the 2023. Will there be some sort of different change here in this midterm, or not midterm, in the special election? We don't know. But we're going to see. Aaron Snow is on our side here campaigning. You have Senator Dillon, Senator Kanga, all of them were there. You have Frank Johnson, hand guy in Nimba County in Grange. There it's a tough type battle. Madison Guion, who was once an inside of the CDC, is now more or less independent, going against Jeremiah Sukant for the ruling establishment, CDC. So it's quite interesting. We're going to see how that plays out. Until then, folks, I am Afonso Zayenso of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Have a pleasant evening.
Hallelujah. The highest praise. Hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. Hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. In the morning when I wake up, in the night when I wake up, I will lift up my voice to heaven and give you the highest praise. Hallelujah to my King. Hallelujah to my Father. Hallelujah to my Jesus. I bow before the throne. When I look at all the wonder and I see all the creation, the beauty of the universe, you never change. You never lie. You never change. You never change. Hallelujah to my Jesus. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
All right, folks, let's leave it here. Let's continue to pray for our country. Let's pray for our leaders and those who are seeking higher office of the land. They need to have that sort of God divine sense of directions, intervention, so that they're going to sometimes they can just do it by themselves. So we have to pray. Even we disagree with them, we have to pray so that we have that wisdom and courage, so that their decision will not just be influenced by ordinary men, but it must be a divine sort of intervention as that they will do it. Until then, I want to thank you to all of our folks, those that are listening to us. I want to thank you so much for being part of us. Just keep following us, send your comments, your views, your opinions. Always welcome. You have the right to disagree with us, to disagree with me, what I say, to say no. Why you say I don't agree with it, and persuade me, or we can have a dialogue. That's what we want. We don't want everything for people to agree with. Yes, no, and that's not a healthy society. We must have that disagreement. However, it must be conducted in a civil context. So if I see it as a green and you know it's a white, just bring me into that point of persuasion to say, oh no, maybe that your glasses you're wearing, you can see better. You need to take it off. But this is white, this is not green. And tell me the compositions what makes it green, and I see it as well. That's all we need to do. As long we can do that, potentially we can resolve most of the little things that becomes nothing. And that's why I get a conference. I don't want to relegate this kind of the talking point. We have to say it, even if we are opposition, government, advocates, we have to say it and have a conversation, a dialogue. Bring your point. Let me bring my point. If I fall short, make a recommendation. This is how you're supposed to do. I might not concede immediately, but I can take it. I can take it in, read over it, and if I'm honest and sincere to my country, and there's a reasonings of your point, of your suggestion, I should be able to come back with courage to say, yes, why you suggested, I didn't see it that way. I never thought it that way. This is how I was thinking about. That's how we can make progress. That's how we can make progress. That's why round table conferences all we go. Until then, have a pleasant evening.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. The highest praise. Hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. Hallelujah. Whoa, 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 whoa. Love is all we need to make it stand. This is the time to come together. Keep Liberia safe forever. So open up your heart and let the unity begin. Love is all we need to make it stand. Let's cultivate one another. Learn to live together as brothers and sisters. Without togetherness, we won't have a peace of mind. Unify and have a peaceful